And we're live. Just give it a few minutes, guys. Last minute. Oh, God, it's like 34 degrees outside. Just going to give time for Bruce to pop out into the studio, and we're going to be talking about giants. We're going to be talking about aliens, fallen angels, Nephilim, giants, you name it. And obviously, this will veer off course, left, right, and center. That's what we want to happen. All right. So I just need to grab a coffee and a few things because I'm late. Hey, Nicole. Shouldn't be too long. I just spoke to my brother. He'll call me if there's a problem with the link. I'm just going to pop up at least something so you don't have to stare at nothing. There you go. Give you something to stare at. Already 3 people. Hey, Elias. Hey, Elias's second account, Nicole, Stephen. Nice to see you. Bruce will be on here shortly. All right, you can stare at some skulls for a second. I'll be back. So for the people that are already in the chat, why don't you start by giving us your opinion on giants? Did giants exist? Where'd they come from? Where'd they go? That's what we're going to get into. We want to hear your opinion first. All right. I'm really sorry. I was like rushing. The baby woke up. Lots of stuff happened. Bruce is not there yet. Hey, Maria. Nicole said she just watched a live kind of like this today on Crypto Alchemist channel. Jules, how you doing? Where are you, Bruce? Won't be long. Just waiting for my brother. When you're like 95K, you gotta arrive fashionably late. You can't be on time. These are some of the slides we'll be going through, as talking pieces. Check this one out in the Vatican.
Apologize for butting in, James,
Yeah,
but
no problem.
was my package there and ready?
Yeah, it's in my
Thank you.
it's in my bag.
That's all I want to know. Thank you.
No problemo. Check this out. The Pope here. Yeah, this looks very heavenly. This looks like the abuso, the abyss, the bottomless pit, where the false antichrist comes out. This is very inspiring. I feel like, there's harps and a beautiful garden. His hair here, because of the wind, it doesn't look like a snake at all. It doesn't. Doesn't look like a snake at all. Yeah. Just a coincidence, the artist didn't realize while he made this beautiful sculpture of the pits of hell and the Antichrist coming from it. It's just a coincidence that the hair looks exactly like a serpent. Coincidence, right? This is another beautiful, inspiring. It just makes me look forward to the kingdom of heaven. There's no satanic symbolism there at all. No way. Won't be long. Just waiting for Bruce.
Oh, you're not streaming?
I am streaming.
No. I'm going to get Bugs ready because that kid is already.
Is there
Second door.
second door?
I'm pretty sure the handle's white. Chunky leg.
This is over here at the Vatican. Again, just a coincidence that it looks exactly like the serpent. That's the inside. These two things here there that look like fangs, just a coincidence.
It's a little messy, but it gives us a hard time sometimes.
No
problem. I'm using both because she can't. Oh.
Let's see if my bro. If Bruce ain't here right away, we'll just start the presentation. Resend another link to Bruce. Yes, sir. Let's do this again. It could be that I sent the link when it wasn't live. Just want to make sure I'm not sharing screen here while I'm sending it. How many are we? Thanks everyone for showing up. Just sending another link to my brother. Me and Bruce, like maybe 2 hours ago, we started talking, and I was like, "We got to stop, man. The conversation was too good." I was like, "What? We're going to talk about this for an hour before going on, and then we're not going to have anything to say." There, 275. I'll call Bruce up as well. We're only 5 minutes late. I'll call him. Hey, did the second link I sent you work?
Well, I'm getting it. It takes me a while to look my email.
Okay.
Too long to look up, and then I'll be able to give it a try. It said that the host wants you to connect either to know who you are, to connect with your YouTube or Facebook, and my account's frozen. I won't be able to get on if I have to connect. I'm already connected.
So are you on now?
Well, I have to wait till the email opens up. It should
Okay.
open up after a
Okay.
minute.
All right.
Yeah, I'm always glitch. Everything I do is
You are
always been.
live. Yeah, I know.
It's always been. So my skill
And it never works when you when I try and put it in the chat or the back room.
no, because my account's frozen.
Okay. So let me.
I grab the link with Safari in
Yeah.
email, then I sign on with Chrome, and then I drop it in the Chrome search engine, and then I come on. But aside from that,
Okay.
I don't know if I'll be able to. So now I'm trying this one.
Yeah. Let's cross our fingers.
Yeah, hopefully, it looks like the same link, but we'll see. No, it's not allowing me to copy it.
You know. Sorry, guys. We're just having problems with the link.
And out of that, I'll sign in with my Chrome. Give it a few seconds. Going the whole time, just running back and forth, trying to get on. And
Yeah. No, I understand. Sorry, guys, for the delay. Bruce having problems with the link.
this works. You've always said
Yeah.
you never had any
Yeah. No, exactly. I'll write link.
push on float beyond Mystic, his channel. That's how I get on. I'm trying it now.
I'm
Put me on right away. I'm in the back of my
No,
hotel.
it's fine. It's fine. I sent you another one. Just
It says entering the studio. To keep the broadcast secure, the host asks that you connect with YouTube or Facebook. Okay.
you know what this there is probably because of that snub guy where he kept on coming on and I had to banish him, and then guests can stream this to their yes.
I got to turn my computer off, so now it'll be 5 minutes.
Okay, well it's okay. I'll
I'll keep trying the link during the night, man. I'm not
Doing,
pushing you there.
wait here. I'm sending it another way, and yeah, like just call me back. Try your stuff. I'll start kind of the presentation so people don't just like.
Now I'll turn the computer off and I'll let it reboot because now it throws me out of my account. It says I have to sign on with YouTube, and I don't do that. I'm already signed in with Safari.
Yeah.
So I don't know why it's asking me to
Send
sign
this
in.
link to your guests. You may also want to share our insurance. You can have a.
Change the link. It's the way you put up the link. It said that the host wants you to prove who you are.
No, but this was because of the guy that showed up and he kept on popping on. No, I know I did because I pressed something that said that I need to give permission. And now this is what's screwing up.
So that you didn't block it, that it was just like a permission thing, or maybe, or could be that. You can check the settings again where you did it, or
Yeah.
you might even be able to do it while you're.
Guest, wait. Guests can stream this to their own destination. Guests see viewers' comment. Guests must authenticate. No, I took that off. Okay, so you see that it's because of that stumpy nubs banned guest. I had to do that. Remember, he kept on popping up. So, okay, let me send the link again. I'm sure it's going to work. It will. It will. I'll send it again. I'm doing. Yeah. All right, guys. I think we fixed it. There was a troll last time, and he just kept on popping in the backstage. I kept on saying not today, and I had to press something to ban him. And now everybody has to authenticate themselves. But I just removed it. So Bruce just has to reboot his computer, and then this link should be okay for him. Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. I can still start as long as we know that things are coming along. Okay, so I wrote final link, so you'll recognize that that's the link now that I sent with the adjustments. Yeah. Do you want me to stay on the phone with you, or you'll call me back if there's a problem? Okay. Cool. All right. See you soon. Bye-bye. All right. Yeah, guys. Sorry about that. The last time me and Bruce were streaming on the Monday, somebody popped on. Somebody that's not the nicest person, to my channel. And I've had that person on in the past, trying to, be cordial and make peace. So the gentleman kept on popping in on the backstage because I had popped it up here. And I politely said, no, not this stream. We're dealing with ketogenic diets and fasting. Just kept on doing it. And for people that are online, all you see is this square. And I go like that. And it's very disturbing. So I didn't know. I was like, stop it. I send the guy out and he'd pop back in. And then finally I had to find a way of authenticating to get this guy off the stream, because all you see is the silliness on the bottom. So we're going to look at, did giants really exist? I'm definitely coming from a Christian narrative. In the Bible, we have very early Genesis 6. We have the sons of God, which are angels, descending onto the daughters of man. And they bore children. So these were demigods in a way, half human, half angel. They were abomination. This was part of the rebellion of the fallen angels, so that they would come down, corrupt the image of man, meaning genetic manipulation. And because of that, then Messiah, who is supposed to be also 100% man, human, could not be born. So it was an attempt to completely go behind the program, genetic warfare. We know that at the very start of Genesis, and I'm just trying to share this screen over here. Go back to the start of this. All right, this was actually an older video. It was for my small channel. I think it has 300 views, and it explains the real reason why God had to flood the earth. And basically, it's because of an angelic rebellion. It doesn't specifically say led by Lucifer. And it's hard to tell, right? Because Lucifer just means in Latin light bearer. Satan is not a name, it's a title. Satan just means Satan is accuser as well as adversary. So these are more titles in the first book of Enoch that goes into great detail about the rebellion and the intercourse and the abominations. In that it goes into great detail in the book of Enoch. Now, if we refuse to acknowledge the narrative here in the Bible of Genesis 6, that's too crazy. Then after the character of God is destroyed, because then people will say, wow, you're like, what? He created humans and then they were evil, so he flooded the whole thing. What kind of monster is he? In fact, because we have free will and angels have free will, we're still allowed to decide to rebel. And this rebellion was, I think, initially 200 angels. There is a name in the book of Enoch. We're going to see it. Let me see over here. Yeah, here. This one. And Semyaza, who was their leader, said unto them, I fear you will not indeed agree to do this, and I alone shall have to pay the penalty of this great sin. So is this Satan? I don't know, because devil isn't a name either. I'm just pressing here to make sure that no funky monkey business is going on and we're seeing what we're supposed to see. So it seems like if there's a leader named Semyaza, who is the leader, Book of Enoch, this is the leader that caused the rebellion, right? That dragged all of those fallen angels down. So this Semyaza is the reason for the flood, basically. So it's a pretty big move in my opinion. And we got Bruce. What up, man?
I was just going to set up first, but hey, I look okay. I guess. I mean, not me, but okay. The image is okay. I got all the lights off here for the
You got
image.
way better color than me. Looks like I'm bleeding to death. I look anemic.
Okay? Yeah, bleeding. I was going to say I don't see any blood on you.
No, I'm like, geez, like they're gonna be like, you see that guy, that nutrition guy? He's all
Yeah, you
so-
see the fasting, what it does, guys. It even tanned them. He's even tanned now.
Meanwhile, that's why Bruce is late. You know, he's like doing the tanning. He's like,
Yeah, just the cream. It's like I don't go out in the sun. It's just brown cream. I didn't put enough here. Shirts opened up. I'm a real Gino right now. I mean, I'm just having a hard time. Like my fluorescent name.
yeah, it's nice. I gotta try that green screen. I got a green wall behind me.
Try right now if you want. It's cool actually. Virtual. It's called virtual background.
No. If I try anything new right now, it'll explode the computer or something like that. So
Yeah. Well, you know what? My iMac Pro is heating up, so I have to interchange the fan that's beside me, put it directly on the computer because it's just crazy how it's heating up. So the StreamYard, it was just that. Yeah. Another thing for the that channel, go to the person's channel and in the flag block there because there was something. Yeah, I think that'll be the best bet there if ever he does come back there.
yeah, no, for sure. I'm sure he'll be back. He'll be back.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
At least he doesn't have the link or anything like that.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna put you on solo screen. Obviously, the topic is: did giants exist? If they did, where the hell did they come from? Right? I just
Hey
need to
man, you know what I'm
coffee.
looking at? You know what I'm looking at? I didn't mean to cut you off. You know what I see right now? There's a new button on top that says stream this to your audience. So it's like at one point when we're streaming, I might be able to stream it directly on my channel. Well, anyways, I don't want to because I want people to come here. But in the future, I'm just saying it's practical. Like maybe you could stream somebody's stream this to your audience. So that means we're allowed streaming someone else. Oh yes, because you go through the button and it's the person that'll get the views, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be great. That's what we were talking about before. I was like, you could like grab my video and post it on yours for your audience.
Well, no, because it touches the subject. I usually stick to the UFOs. If not, they're going to put me as an entertainment, or they change you all the time. They're characterizing you. Yes, I told you. Yes, Bruce.
Yeah, and Steven also. So we're the last idiots to figure this out.
No, Julie, hold on, Julie. I could not stream before. The button was not there. And you have to pay certain things. When people pay, they get different functions. There was no capability for me to stream with that button that's there. I'm saying that button, they just put it up. It's a new button that is there on StreamYard. I have no problems understanding how StreamYard works. It's simple. It's like any child could use that. No, I told you there's no button there. Bruce is full of glitches and people don't believe me. And Jason, did we have glitches before? Always glitches. Couldn't even copy the link. It was disappearing. Must be Bruce.
You're nothing but trouble. That's why I rarely have you on,
Right. Exactly. That's how it is. I want to say hello. I want to say hello to everyone listening in, and I want to thank all my community for coming by. Thanks, everyone.
Once in a while, I feel sorry for you, and I say, you know what, this guy needs some views and stuff, so he comes on.
Yeah, and
stream.
Yeah, well, actually, if you look this month, you're getting more. You have more subs than me this month. Just to let you know that. Maybe that'll make you feel a little better, because we're going back down to 97.3. I just went down from 480 to 399, I think, which sort of makes me laugh and makes me giggle. The trolls have fun with the little subscriber count. Well, I have a few things to present later on. I know you have a lot to present. So if I do present later on, it'll be to run through. It'll give the taste of everyone a bit of some of the images, which you might have even located some of the images yourself.
Yeah.
There, when Jason, see, you did a change on your screen. Look what happens to my screen. It's offset now. Funny, eh? Got to zoom in. Got to bring my computer closer now. There we go. Unreal.
All right. So let's say hi to everybody. Let's see who won first. So Steven gets the first prize. These are all your trolls, right? These are all of your cult members.
Which ones? Any names? Shoot some names.
Probably all of them. Alias came from your cult.
Okay, the good cult. You mean? Yeah. They're all members.
Yeah.
They all got their badges. Many sing-alongs we've had since then.
Guys, if you have anything that you really want us to pop up, a question or just a comment that you want us to acknowledge, it's going to be hard. So put at least 2 or 3 emojis prior to your name, just to help us, it'll catch our eye. I find it's really stupid that a moderator can't feed through it and decide what's relevant to pop up so that the content provider can concentrate on the actual stream, and then the moderator pops it up, and then you know to stop and continue. It would be cool that way.
Yeah, well, you'll notice on StreamYard there are continually new friggin' changes that they're doing all the time. It really pisses me off, but it depends on how much you pay per month. Me, I would never use the stream to your audience button, but now it's a giant blue button that's in front of me, which was never there before. And
well, what does it mean? It'll stream on your channel? Just you can do it anyways.
No, because people will watch the video on my channel instead of coming yours. I mean, I want people to be here, on the channel, but it's a good idea. Like maybe one day you'll be streaming something and I'll say, oh shit, well, I can share it on a day that I'm not streaming, and just so people will say, oh, who's this? Jason or whatever,
Yeah, I know for sure.
See, I don't need glasses anymore, by the way. I threw them away.
Are you serious?
Yeah, dude, I don't wear glasses to view. I wear glasses because my eye astigmatism. I have black around my eyes. The only reason why I wear glasses. But when I'm tan, you don't see the black. So not as much.
Jason, reminder: check the back room. Oh, I was like, I thought Darla was saying like check the background. I'm like,
it's only me. If there's anyone in the back room, I will tell Jason because I'm checking.
So Kai says giants are still around. Did you ever hear the one that was going around social media about in Afghanistan or something? Soldiers had found this giant with
I heard the story. Apparently it's military that found it. It could be possible.
Actually, let me see if I have actually something.
I agree with you, Kai, about giants that are still around. I absolutely believe that they're around. Let us not forget while Jason's looking up the post here. Back in the days, in history, people were short, 5 feet, all the way down back to 1,000 years. In ancient times, they were more massive than us. Whether it be because of the Bible or because of the different atmosphere. Many things can come into consideration for sure. Many ways to look at things. I guess, Jason, there's a religious point, and there's a scientific point, and there's just a theory. It's true, there'll always be a theory point. There'll always be a Bible point on it, a religious point, which is using real doctrines. But there's lots of different ways that people interpret it. But
what I like is that doesn't matter the angle, whether I'm taking that angel interdimensional or let's say you or other people might be taking no, I'm seeing something within this universe. The information applies to both. So I don't buy into the extraterrestrial, but I'll go see those videos, because while they're saying extraterrestrial life came down, and I'm going, yeah, the angels came down, so the research itself is the same. So somebody watching about the Nephilim, the fallen angels, well, they can grab that and say,
they can say those are devils, and the other one's saying it's aliens. But either way, there's something there. We're giving it different terms. We're fighting about, theorizing, assuming, coming up with theories. It's all good,
Yeah, because look, when we get into the megaliths or these archaeological finds where there's like advanced technology and stuff like that, that applies to both worldviews. You know, that this is what the first book in Enoch says. It doesn't go into complete detail about every single thing that they taught, but the theme seems to be they taught them cool stuff and it screwed them up. And pretty
Yeah,
much
absolutely, absolutely. And it's fun that you're talking about it because in the fourth set,
plug it in.
When you're charging your stuff,
Oh.
when you're charged.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that.
no
So
problem.
it's-
In the fourth century BC, they
Yeah.
say the Christians way back then were already hiding the Book of Enoch. See, that's why I like that you're still touching on the Book of Enoch because you know it's a real book. You know?
Yeah.
Whether it's your Christian perspective or not, it's there. And there's different theories about it, but they didn't want to show it because, you know, they talked about giants. There's the Book of Giants they banned. They didn't want people. They also talked about, I think, the Messiah's 1,000-year reign, if I'm not mistaken. You'll know this more than me. But in the Book of Enoch, they talk about that, the Messiah's 1,000-year reign. So, you know.
One cool thing is that in Ethiopia, which they have there's some Christians from Ethiopia, and they have the Ethiopian Bible, and it is actually canonized in a Christian Bible. It's just not canonized in the ones that we use and stuff like that. But here,
canonization, I had to even look that up to understand that. This, tell me if I'm right or wrong. The canonization, it means that it's an accepted script considered authentic to the Bible. Okay, that's it.
Yeah, it's ones that they accepted and stuff like that. But there was like a big criteria, and a lot of it was the language that it was written in.
Yeah,
and the
ancient Jewish or something, right? Like Jewish language or something.
I don't know. It's beyond my pay grade, but I just know that it didn't fit into some of the rigid decisions. But it's in the Ethiopian Bible, and no Christian scholar will ever say that it is a fraudulent or a hoax or anything like that. It's supposedly it's an intertestamental doctrine, the Book of Enoch. So it's after the Old Testament and before the New Testament. And Jude, in every Bible, in the Book of Jude, actually we know that this is older, the Book of Enoch, and he quotes it. So it was well respected by the people at that time. It was like a known spiritual book, and that's why Jude quoted it. And I think that the reason that Genesis 6 is so damn vague in the Bible might be because it was like so, like, of course, like it's common knowledge. Like we'll just talk about there was giants back then, and maybe they assumed, you know. And what's really scary is the Book of Enoch, the Zohar, the Book of Enoch too. It says it's not for this generation when it was written; it's for a generation to come.
Yeah,
And,
I believe that.
You know what I mean?
That it's definitely for a generation to come for sure.
Yeah, all of a sudden it's like everyone's talking about the Book of Enoch. Everyone's talking about these Nephilim, or at least the Christians. If you look at Christianity prior, it was so fractured because we didn't have social media and stuff like that. So you had your little parish. The academics did their own little thing in universities. Everyone was disconnected. So for sure, there's tons of bullcrap online, but there is also access with a discerning eye to some really good information. And there's a lot of Christians now. It's like it's common knowledge because go ahead.
No, sorry, Jason, I'm cutting you off. Have you ever heard of the Flyover podcast?
No.
It's about religion, and it's Christians, and they give their point of view on the New World Order. But you probably, remember that the Flyover podcast. It's the big mouth Alex Jones. Not everybody likes watching him, but he interviews a lot of religious people. And be honest, if you don't agree with them, tell me no, it's bullshit. But Flyover podcast, they give the Christian perspective, and he always gives his Christian perspective. And I thought of you because it's interesting because he is talking about, angels, demons, and everything that's happening now in the news, the Flyover podcast. If ever you want to find them, and you can find them, Alex Jones does post them on his site. But there's lots of them. So the Vatican, real quick, not to get off topic, the chief doctrine holder is having a meeting with Papa Francesco about changes in Christianity. So this happened 2 days ago. I haven't heard anything since, but I said keep an eye out. Any information of changes at the Vatican, which I know there's always been changes.
I was
You
going
know,
to say, that's their thing.
that's their thing, right? It's true
That's
because
all
that's
they
they do
do.
that continue. Yep, it's true. You're absolutely right about that.
Yeah.
It's rare they talk about it.
Um, here, I have some Vatican pictures. Probably most people have seen it, but since we did bring the Vatican up, I'll show you some of the stuff. I think you've seen this before, Bruce. So, present screen. Tell me if you see this pop up. Yeah.
Yep, the real reason God flooded the earth.
Yeah.
Sons of God is also
Right,
what they
is
talk about
because of
in
vegans.
Book of Enoch. Right.
Okay, let me.
In Enoch, they talk about the
Yeah.
sons of God.
Yeah, of course. The sons of God are angels. The Hebrew is Bene Ha Elohim. Then after you have the only begotten son, meaning not created, but begotten means the unique and brought forth. So
Right.
Jesus is the son of God. And then after humans are not known as children of God. We're actually known as rebellious children of wrath. And with the biblical narrative, we only become children of God when we're clothed with the only begotten Son of God. At least that's what the Christians say. I wanted to show you the Vatican, some cool stuff.
Sorry, I'll be continually aligning myself here with the fan.
Yeah, these are all the frames. These are great talking pieces.
It's in the topics right now. Elongated
here.
skulls is crazy. Everyone's talking about them.
Oh, exactly. And the Book Enoch. I might be mistaken. I know this is so hard, but the Book Enoch. It seems to me, even Daniel's vision. It says, "Seal up the book."
Yep,
Because
and Daniel's a passage about the Book of Enoch. We're in the mouth. We're in the mouth of the reptilian. By the way, everyone, we're in the mouth of the inside the serpent's mouth.
see, I have a big problem because I see Catholics that seem to be genuinely Christian, and then after they're sitting in these things with serpents, and so it's like it makes it, like it
And they
confuses.
don't see it. They don't see it. What the
Yeah, it's
hell?
weird,
Come
you know?
on. I mean, come on. Are they really brainwashed?
I don't know.
Yeah, think so.
But
I don't know.
if you look here, okay, that's the inside. Like, so if I came in and I'm like, I love Jesus, and I'm like, boy, this really looks like the serpent. And then after this here, you know how if we're looking even at aliens and the abductions, there's of the fifth kind and stuff, there's a lot of like seed wars, right? Like they're
Right.
they're like, oh, they abducted me and they took specimens from me and they said that this is my child and it's like a hybrid. Everything seems to be about this genetic seed war, and this here is in the Vatican, right? And if you look at here, maybe I'm reading into it, but I'll just put the pointer on here. Okay, here's the two nut sacks on each side here. Here's a phallus, and here's the vagina.
There's always talk about that. Yeah, it should. I've heard that a lot. The womb, the sexual motion of that. Yeah, yeah.
Then you got the outside. It's like I don't know. It's weird. Like why do they accept that? Why aren't they like? This is my favorite. I love this one. I showed this to your audience. Okay, look at
Yeah,
this.
that's in the Vatican. That's
Yeah.
the throne of Satan.
Yeah, but watch this. It's so obvious, man. It's like you can see the damn thing.
I don't know. I don't see it.
No, this here, right?
I'm
It's
dude. I'm
okay.
freaking kidding.
Okay. I
It's
thought
like
it was-
straight up satanic
Isn't
cult.
that crazy?
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like straight on. And it's like, I don't
It's
know.
literally Satan.
Yeah. And this here, this is a close up to this one. Just a coincidence. Don't worry. Nothing to see here. It's just Jesus that looks like the Antichrist coming out of the abuso and beautifully sculpted serpent.
Yeah.
This is very inspiring.
Yeah.
I feel Jesus's rest. I feel the peace that surpasses all understanding, just radiating from this throne of Satan.
I don't know. I see fire. I see war. I see a lot of shit.
Bring it to the start.
You know that I just memorized everything, and you're like me for that, eh? Like everything that just went by, I saw all the pictures. I remember them all now. It's like,
So let's look at Genesis 3:15. Okay, immediately, the minute this serpent, which is obviously not a serpent, I think it's a seraphim, which is an angelic spiritual being that is often described as a fiery serpent. So I think that seraphim. I know that Satan or whatever you want to call him, that's not his real name or anything like that. Those are titles. But Lucifer, then, he was like the high up angel. He was like the top dog. I don't know if he was a cherub or if he was a seraphim, but it seems to me if the serpent is in the garden, and he's the one that kind of in the narrative betrayed and caused this whole situation, it would kind of make sense that likely he's a seraphim, a flaming serpent. So you see here right away, the minute that this thing happened in the garden, God says, I will put enmity, or I will put hatred between you and the woman, between your seed and her seed. He'll bruise your head. He will bruise your head, and you will bruise his heel. After to this verse, there will be enmity between the individual woman, Eve, and the serpent who deceives her. And here, the word enmity indicates a blood feud. Now we hear about the blue bloods and all the secret societies, right? But this connects too. Genesis starts right away. This is a genetic warfare, and we see now.
rain. Keep going. It's raining.
Okay, we see now, we can pop it up later. All of these hybrids that they're doing in labs. Oh, we added like 1% human to this rat brain, and they're just like doing CRISPR gene editing and everything. Now, Jesus, when he was, during his 3 years of ministry, at one point his apostles asked him, what will be the sign of the coming? Like, okay, you just told us you're taken off, but when are you going to come back? And Jesus says, as in the times of Noah, so will it be at the coming of the Son of Man. Now, people often say, well, they were wicked back then, now we're going to be wicked again. It's like, that has nothing to do with it. What was happening in the pre-Diluvian world was this rebellion of the angels. The angels were there when God created everything, and they shouted for joy. These guys know. They're basically a computer programmer, right? Our DNA is kind of like a computer screen. Well, these guys know how to like do coding, okay? And they were quite able to manipulate things. And the giants, well, I guess they were abominations, and technically, at least from the Bible narrative, these came from the union of both. They were obviously very evil. So what I think was happening is the knowledge and the technology, that came from the sons of God. That came from the angels. But the builders that have built all these megaliths, those are the Nephilim giants. Because people are constantly just saying like, it's like, we don't even have equipment to move some of those blocks that are megaliths. How the heck did they do it back then? But
Exactly. The
if
Egyptians,
you're
it's always been
giants,
said.
you
It's
know,
always been said they could be giants. They came up with a new technique now. A Stonehenge is also very old. They found some bones there, and they're digging those up. But they came up with wood inverted upside down with a track,
yeah.
a ball that they drop in the track. It's incredible. The
Mm.
stone ball. Oh, and all the balls that are being found around Stonehenge all have the same size. So they would put the big friggin' blocks, and they'd have 5 women push the 3-ton blocks on this little track of wood that they kept. But they said that they were using extremely good oak wood, because oak is solid. That's why they make coffins out of it, as compared to what they did with the plywood it kept breaking. So they just kept adding a thing. So they were able to move like on a track of wood, like the same ideal of like the Rolling Stones, well, the Flintstones, just that turning, tumbling thing that they're rolling over continually. It's like a wheel.
Yeah.
Just that stupid. So I don't care what anybody says. The wheel was invented many thousands of years before we think.
Yeah.
Pretty sure about that.
It's funny because you mentioned Stonehenge. The legend is that a giant helped Merlin create.
That's what the legend is. Yeah.
I remember an atheist telling me, he's like, hey, you know what? I'm an atheist because I don't believe in your God. But technically, you're an atheist because there's tons of other gods. You don't believe in Zeus. You don't believe. And I'm going like, you don't know how stupid I am, dude. I think those are fallen angels. And I think all those mythologies have a truth to it. So
Yeah.
I didn't say anything. I just let the
Well,
atheist.
the way I see it, there are no stupid theories. I mean, there are no stupid theories. Nobody knows exactly what the hell everything is. Many years ago, what we're talking about giants now, even today, people are laughing at them. The Serpent Mounds in the States, Ohio, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's Ohio. I have it somewhere. That one. That's in Ohio. That's the Serpent Mound.
Yeah,
And
both giants and short people in there. Some people 6 foot something, and
yeah, and
very interesting.
It's funny because if you're on the ground, you wouldn't notice what it is. It's people have used drones, so that's what they're saying.
Imagine how long it took till the first Wright brothers, that guy just going up in town, what he saw right there in his own town. That's where everything. That's when the tech it went crazy into the Cold War and the spying, the experimentation, and now direct energy weapons. Crazy, all in the goal to be more powerful. China, Russia, US fighting all the time.
No, exactly. And like when you go into detail about the Serpent Mound in Ohio, as you mentioned, it's not just like it actually lines up with, I guess, solstice, summer, winter, and stuff like that.
Well, you hit the nail on the head. Yes, it does. At the summer solstice, on the right quadrant, you see 4 stones, and exactly when it touches the horizon, they have those stones there. So that confirms that they were very advanced in science and astrology and astronomy. Yeah. I mean, today what we know, is it not all from the past what we're learning?
Yeah.
It's all information from the past. We're trying to back engineer things that we don't even know from other worlds, I mean.
Yeah, and like the saying goes, there's nothing new under the sun. What's
There you
been
go.
done will be done again.
Yep,
And
there you go.
we're seeing that. And what strikes me, obviously, Christians, serpents are bad. But it's funny here. Remember the enmity between her seed and your seed. And to me, that looks like a seed right there. That looks like people that are worshiping the serpent and doing this and saying, yes, like our God, the serpent will swallow the seed. I don't know if that's true.
There's so much about frequencies. There's so much about frequencies. We look outside at a sundial, and like, how the friggin' hell were they able to be that just? Showing tools without electricity. It's not a primitive race. It's an advanced race.
Agreed.
Because they are doing what we are hopefully going to be at in 100 years, a healthy green, done with electricity and all that bullshit. They were way ahead of us. They were melting rock and putting copper inside of rock. They had mountains that were conductive. They knew what material was conductive and we didn't. That's what we learned from them.
100%. Like there's been fossilized stuff that look. These guys are creating these structures that you can't even put a credit card in between. And if you see some of them, it's like they're not even like square, like they're all like molded in together, like differently. And
they're all interlocked. They're all interlocked. And Jason, at the top of Stonehenge, they have these L-shaped objects that go and sit on the corners of them. Screws going through a real screw, not a wooden rivet made out of nickel and stuff. So that means that they were heating up 8,000-degree furnaces to make and alter that metal to be more solidified. We do that today, dude. We're learning about that now, and they were doing that back then.
Yeah, this is all technology
That's
that
nuts.
comes from advanced beings. Whatever they were before, I feel that they came down and they ruled man. They were the gods, and now they're gone, and now they're coming back. And I don't think that people will believe they're gods. I think that people are secular now. It's not going to work.
Yeah, kill Jesus once, I'll kill him twice.
Well, I think that they're going to come.
Yeah.
Me, I don't think they're. I'm throwing it. I do not think they're benevolent. I think that they're going to do exactly like Enoch. They're going to teach us a whole lot of stuff, so
Well,
we
that
can
the
destroy
story
it.
gets very similar to
That's
the
what
ones
gets-
that people believe aliens are coming. So again, like you said, in the
Yeah.
context of what you said before, whether we're talking aliens or schmalians, someone is coming, whether it be because of the doctrine, the sacred
Yeah.
doctrine, or because of something else in general. We can't
Yeah.
really spit on the fact if it's already even written
Yeah.
that they're going to come. So there is some interest to that. You
Yeah.
cannot not be interested in the Bible, even if you're an atheist. I mean, I know lots of atheists that read the Bible, not every day, but they're always looking through it. They're always trying to find information.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
an atheist hurts himself. He goes, "Oh my God, I almost lost my." Oh my what?
Oh my
What do you
God.
mean you're God? He's not going to
Yeah,
help
yeah,
you. He's going to rip your other arm off. You know.
Let's go see the comments just so we can keep on track.
Thanks for coming in, everyone.
Yeah, we're at 21. Smash the like button. Hi, Jason. Enjoy your daily bread the other day. Thanks, Jules.
Jules is here. Thanks for coming in, you guys.
Yeah. Hi, Nicole. Just whipped in and hit the thumbs up and say hi. Thank you. We got Maria. Resend another link to Bruce. We already did that, so that's how behind I am in the chat.
Yeah, what's been there, done that. But it's
Yeah.
okay if you're like me. I like scrolling down from the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, you
Well,
skip
actually-
a couple, but you know, people understand in general. You will answer a couple of them.
I've been putting my phone just on the side, and then I'm using it and I'm scrolling this, and it's been going well, but my phone's dead. And I
Yeah,
have
but
to-
that's good. That's actually like, you know, Tucker Carlson and everyone. That's what they're doing. You know, you see them on these professional medias. They're sitting down at the office. They have their laptop. They have the
Mhm.
phone there. They got the prompter there. They got
Yeah.
other message boards and papers that they're writing stuff on, and you know, it's
No,
fun.
exactly. I'm still listening, Bruce.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Researching is something super fun. But the interesting part is that back in the days, people were short, and I'm not going back thousands or hundred thousands of years because they were bigger for some reason. Basically, what history is saying. But in general, people they say that, for example, whether it's true or not, Jesus 5.5. You see Family Guy laughing at Jesus when they talk about. They don't laugh at him, but they laugh at his height because there's some controversy around that. People don't look into it, but it's interesting. Like, how tall were they? Right? People talk about aliens. Are they 39 inches? Apparently, the Ebens are 39 inches. It's not very big, so it remains something really interesting.
Well, you know, like Ike, David Ike, you know, and stuff like that. You know,
Yes.
he's talking about the reptilian shapeshifters, you know, and you know, I was like, because the guy makes great points, you know. Then it was like, okay, he's gone too far. But if you think of it,
I'm
I
like you
just
for that.
talked about seraphims. I just talked about fiery serpent, angelic beings, and stuff like that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's some truth. Don't forget, David Icke says he's Jesus Christ. Right? Did you see that video?
Yeah,
If not,
yeah.
If
Well,
not,
he
you're
was
gonna like
having
it.
a spiritual awakening. Like there, you know, sometimes
I
if
love
you
the
do
guy. I love the
spiritual-
guy. He's saying truth. He's telling the truth about everything. The 5G. He has a very good theory, you know, and context and
Yeah.
all the right proportions of being able to explaining it. But you know, I take it with a grain of salt. Anybody that brings me information, whether it be
Yeah.
big, tall, fat, small,
Yeah.
you know, even 18 years old or 36. I have one
Yeah.
guy on my channel says you might not really take my question seriously. I'm only 18. You know, teenagers are. They want to be taken seriously. When we're younger, we want to make our place in society. For me, when I see an 18-year-old on my channel, he blows me away, or she
Mhm.
blows me away, because I keep telling them, you realize that you're probably one of the only ones of your age and 100 miles all around you that are interested in these subjects. We get
Yeah.
some young people sometimes that are very interested in the subjects. And don't forget, Jason, they're going to be better than us because we didn't have internet when we were young to research. We
Yeah.
couldn't research. We had to research. We were lucky we had encyclopedias at home, at least. Mom had gotten us books to understand, the collection, the cartoon collection of those books saying, Beethoven. Beethoven was born this year. He died of that. He was, had problems with the vision and the hearing, and that it was on October 9th, 18 or
Yeah.
17 or 14. And they start talking. Then you go, oh, wow, I know about Beethoven, but there was nothing else researching. And then when the internet, they're using it to watch us and to suppress us. But they got caught and they realized that, well, people are going to use the internet to go against the government. So it's sort of a war online that's going on.
Definitely.
Did you hear in France, Jason, Macron wants to turn off the social media? Not to get off topic, but
Yeah, no, of course,
because of
they
the
want
riots.
to isolate us.
Yeah, because
This
of
happened.
the friggin' riots.
This happened when everyone's getting mad. Farmers in this country and that country didn't
Yeah.
hear anything. All of a sudden, you'd be like, "Oh my god, that's happened over there." It's like, yeah, no, they're not telling
Absolutely. The size of my screen's changing again for some reason.
Shrinkage happens.
Yeah, see, I can see the top
Oh,
again there.
Usually
My
doesn't
darn.
happen when you're 34 degrees Celsius out, but
No, of course, yeah, exactly.
trying to find. Just give me a second. If I go by the shroud of Turin,
Yep.
which I believe 1,000,000,000% that it is the actual shroud.
Right. Okay.
I think he's like 5'11", 6 foot. If we go by the measurement of the guy that is on the shroud. Here, let me try and pull up.
But he would be close to being a giant though, because back in the days, the tallest person was 170 centimeters. It was 5 foot.
He would definitely be above height for sure. Yeah. I've done our stature significantly decreased when we went from hunter and gatherer to cultivation. What happened was we were able to have tons of calories, right? Wheat and crops like that, but those crops don't have nutrients and stuff like that. So once they started to be able to explode the population, then you had a large population because of the calories, but then they suffered nutrient deficiency.
But there's 1 year that apparently it wasn't the calories. People that were eating very sufficiently, but then again, what I'm talking to you about 150 years ago. 150 years ago is when the first human started measuring 6 foot plus. Except we're not backing up 1,000 years. I'm talking if you back up 150 years, that is the exact time they say that people started growing a little bit more. But don't forget, humans have always been, the DNA is manipulated, not necessarily physically, but if they're manipulating the weather around us and it's affecting us and chemicals are destroying us, will it change the way we live, our height? Yeah, it could be,
If you look at Napoleon Bonaparte, it's like you said, he was like 4'11" or so, if not less. It's like,
yeah, he was very, very small, very small.
Yeah. This is the Shroud of Turin. If ever anybody has never heard of it, it's called the Shroud of Turin because it's in Turin, Italy. That's where it is. The shroud doesn't really look too perfect at eye, just with the naked eye. But when somebody took a picture of it, it was like the photo negative appeared. So if we go by at least this gentleman here, he was quite tall. He was then well above average. He was 6 foot, pretty close to 6 foot. And
with the infrared camera, with my infrared camera looking on the screen, I can see the repairs very well with infrared.
Yeah, there's repairs here, because it actually burnt in a cathedral. So,
yeah, but with the infrared camera, it shows patches that you can't see with the naked eye.
Oh, yeah?
Yep, different frequencies.
What is sucky is that when they actually did the carbon dating, they took an edge and the edge of the shroud, there was another weave put on it because it was
Yeah,
all
it'd been
round.
repaired. They repaired it very, very intricately. Apparently, it was a repair that was not done by any Tom, Dick, or Harry. It would have been the clergy, would have been religious, important figures that would have taken it and rewoven the same material over, but at a younger age.
Yeah, this is if people are wondering, I'm not taking this off the internet. This is actually a presentation that I did in the past. It's in one of my live streams. Um, Here, the carbon dated test. It explains why it was refuted, which nobody really knows about. And
I
s-
do. Yeah, it was
since
wrong, the dating.
since this, there's even more, I guess, different ways
Carbon
of
dating, yeah.
yeah, or something. But yeah, this convinced me. I believe it is right down to the point that the holes are not in the palms like some pictures show, because it has to be between the radial and the ulnar nerve, so it holds and the bone will sustain it. If it was in the flesh of our palm, it would like just rip right out.
Are his
Um,
thumbs inwards?
that's it. So when you sever the ulnar nerve, even if you press it like this, your
No,
ulnar
I
nerve,
know your thumb will go
yeah,
inside. It's going to stay stuck on inside
yeah.
because you hit the center.
So exactly. So like this hoaxer was pretty smart, like he thought about like, oh, I got to make those thumbs disappear there inside because the ulnar nerve's been severed and stuff like that. Yeah, so they're explaining. See, this is where it was in based on the picture, and this is somebody an example of a patient with a severed ulnar nerve, how the finger reacts to
Yep.
it being severed. Um, After like the
Do we have
let's
any
say
live videos of the crucifixion so we can show the community what it looks
no.
on
Yeah,
YouTube?
sure. Mel
Here's
Gibson
the
made a
crucifixion
great
in
movie.
Ohio.
It's called The Passion of Christ. It's great.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
like seriously, like people are saying it's hoax because of this carbon dating. Yet they don't deny that there's actual real blood on the shroud, that it's AB, okay, that only 1 to
Not
3%.
just that, Jason, they could be lying. The guy, like I told you about the carbon dating that's wrong, that guy could also been lying. Like, I mean, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? There's lots of controversial ways that people can, lie.
Oh, for sure, for sure. But like at least when it was the study of, I think it's called STIRP. Let me see over here. There was, oh, here, STIRP. It stands for Shroud of Turin Research Project. And the guy that has dedicated his life is Barry Schwartz. He was a Jew. He was not a Christian. And
Schwartz, WORTZ.
yeah, weird,
Interesting.
eh?
Eh? Well,
Yeah.
all our names were changed. Like a lot of people changed their names. The ones that were Jewish, that were hiding from Hitler, when they came over here, oh yeah, German.
Yeah.
I'm not Jewish. I'm German. They could speak German anyway. So
Yeah. Well, like, I mean, our last name, right? It originates probably from SCHWARTZ.
Jason and I came up on shore in the early 1900s.
Don't want to get on a tangent there. We want to concentrate on giants. That's what people got here. I want to pop up this ancient technology stuff. You don't see it, do you?
Yeah, I see
okay.
whatever you see. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm so like, if you do entire screen, you're safe. But if you press tabs, you switch, you forget like
I never hotkey or tabs. Yeah, I get it.
I always forget stuff. But yeah, like there was technology, guys.
Yep,
And
there's
they're
a
not-
helicopter, Egyptian helicopter in the center on the top row. If you go up
Yeah.
2 rows there, yeah.
This one.
Go up a little bit.
Oh, sorry. I'll bring it back, Bruce.
Yeah,
This?
yeah. There you yeah.
No, it's not that.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
one
yeah,
with
yeah,
the-
yeah. It's a close up of it. You can see the jet on top with the friggin' tail and the light spaceship, whatever. There's lots of spaceships, that they're
Oh,
always showing,
this
but
one.
that
This
was
one. This one. That's the one I wanted. Check this out.
yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I streamed about that one often and showed it. Absolutely. Helicopter, no two ways about it. A saucer, a boat, I mean, it's everything we have. So what we have today, I believe, are what they had in ancient times. You know, boats from
Yeah.
the ancient times. We have boats today. There's
Check this
a lot-
out.
Yeah, I showed
know
that too in my last stream. I showed that.
you know all of these, but maybe
That's the
like other people-
crucifixion of Jesus Christ on the top right
Yeah.
side of the painting in the Louvre.
Yeah, these are all antiquity paintings, and you have very very weird things. Where's the one with all those saucers behind them somewhere?
Yeah, keep
Uh,
going. I'll tell you. They're not showing it yet.
Here, I'll do it.
Uh,
Jesus UFO painting. There you go. Won't waste time.
Yeah, you get lots of them. See, it's incredible. That one on the right that you showed there also was. There's another
Yeah,
one.
I'm going to-
Oh,
going to-
yeah. You're gonna get some funny ones too, of course. But it's
Yeah, but
okay because
I wanted to see the one like literally behind. There's like a
yeah, there's rows, there's squadrons of them up in the sky, like literally.
Yeah. So whatever they are, in your opinion, are they good? Are they bad? Are there some good? Are there some bad? What's your feeling about this?
I think you touched on my final answer is that I'm still very skeptical about what I'm filming even is good or bad, but I believe in the possibility that there is a good group of people coming, not only because of the Bible, but because of what a lot of people are talking about, the Anunnaki, the alien races and stuff like that.
Nibiru, X.
yeah. But exactly, repeat the question because I want to answer it.
No, like I was saying, like, do you feel whatever these beings
are they malevolent or good
malevolent
necessarily? No, you
or
touched
good?
another point. The point is that you said it. I believe that there are so many different types of beings, whether God created it or not. He said he did. I mean, and everything had a reason to be created. And again, who says that some of those beings that he created weren't good at the beginning? I think that's pretty much proof that we have that humans themselves became bad there. Maybe.
Well, yeah, like I mean,
you know.
the from the Christian narrative, it's he created angels, but they have free will,
Yeah.
or else he could have just created like like a robot that looks real, that like an AI, but
Right.
then it's like, well, yeah, but you're not
Right.
real. Like
It's sort of scary to think that when we go hunting, bro, humans, you and I, we don't hunt, but humans that go hunting, actually we never went hunting. But anyways, hunting ducks. What do? We put ducks in the water, okay? Plastic ducks. We dress the boats with camouflage and, guys like spending 138 hours by putting, there it is.
Yeah, that's the money
so
one.
get this. The UFO, stay right there. The UFO, the duck hunting, we're hunting our ducks. We live with them. They don't know that we eat them.
Mm-hmm.
If there are aliens here or a being that is manipulating us or experimenting on us, we don't know they're here. They're doing just like we're doing to the ducks. The same thing.
Ants, kind of like
camouflaging themselves. They're like, oh, don't look, hide behind the post, like a baby crib. You put up. That the what do you call it? The thing that turns on top that you crank. For months he's looking at that. Then at one point he starts hearing the parents having sex. He starts looking at, oh, there's a fridge there with food in it. We wake up fast. But if we keep us in a shell, like the governments are doing with us, slapping us on our hands, Obama declared that human civilization does not have the capability of regulating their own fights, of coming up with decisions to better humanity. They have to be controlled by a government. And that's the part that scares me, how the government was there at the beginning to help us. And then it turned out that we're helping them and they need us. Without us, they have nothing,
For me here, this painting, well, first of all, anytime
I love that one.
Every time there's a Virgin Mary, we know it's Catholic, but obviously the Roman Catholic Church was the only church at
Stargate. There's the secret society Stargate project right there back in the olden days. They used to depict in theory, right? Like you look at that circle on top, you can say, no, that's the Holy Father, or it's the Trinity, or someone like
this one you can tell because the Catholics always have Virgin Mary equal with Jesus, even though Virgin Mary.
the circle in the background, maybe you can tell, but for me, that's looking through a looking glass. Like if we're playing charades, Stargate, portals, another world, another dimension, and again, it's not destroying religion at all. I'm not here to destroy it. I'm here to say that there's other possibilities. Maybe some stories were omitted in the real story of the Bible.
Yeah.
Many ways
Well,
to
well,
reach
for
Rome.
me, watch this, Bruce. See this damn thing? Okay, the circle during that CERN opening ceremony,
Yeah, but they're totally
satanic
satanic.
ceremony.
Yeah,
Uh,
very satanic.
See, this is what I see. See this? That. That's the portal. That's the same damn portal that they're trying to open. And the reason
Yeah.
I say that is that this there is Catholics, okay? And Catholics, all right, are satanic. Not Catholics, the people, but
No. The
at
idea.
the moment,
Yeah.
right now, I mean, people have
Yeah.
said Satan has entered the Vatican.
Yeah.
So not this has nothing to do with Christians
Yeah, it's
that are
Pope Francis. What an idiot. The guy himself tells us the devil has entered the Vatican. Yeah, I'm looking right at it, piece of shit.
no,
It's
that's
Pope
it. So
Francis.
it's really a for me it's a disgusting time. Just the social degeneration, but at the same time, it's an exciting time.
Yeah.
People. I
Hey, oh, damn it. You see what it said underneath? Well, it's because
um,
now it's my patterns coming back there.
I
Kai
can
and
put it
I were
back.
talking today about the devil. In the Bible, they talk about where the devil's going to reside, right? Here
Mhm. Well, right
on
now
earth.
he's here.
Yeah.
He's
Eh,
given
but
authority for now.
it's Switzerland. The name that was given in the Bible represents Switzerland today, which is where Davos is, and
Yep.
CERN, which built over the empire of was it
Yep.
King whatever? I'm not whatever over the empire, literally over what was closed down, and they're trying to bring out these negative entities, and at the same time, when they're opening the portal to smash subatomic particles together, which are hadrons. That's why they call them hadron colliders. They're opening
Yeah.
portals. They're creating new elements, but they're letting in things they could let in negative, malevolent beings. But so yes, Jason, I believe that there could be good beings and bad beings, like yin yang. I believe there are beings that are for God, and I believe that there are beings that are here, and their sole goal will be to go against God. Hopefully,
Yeah.
they're not in a spiritual world. And as we know that they are, they'll be around longer than us. As
Yeah.
humans, we'll be affected trying to conquer them.
Mhm.
They'll always be around.
CERN, if I'm not mistaken, now take this with a grain of salt, but I believe that this throne here,
Shiva's there. If that's the one you're going to bring up, Shiva
no,
is
Shiva,
there.
yeah, Shiva, we can show after.
It was
This
given by India. India gave that to CERN, an
the
Indian scientist.
destroyer of worlds. So we have a
Yep.
hadron collider trying to smash particles together to find the God particle.
Yep.
And meanwhile, they have Shiva statue that says Shiva, destroyer of worlds,
Yeah.
which is exactly the same entity. In Hebrew, they call the destroyer of worlds Abaddon, and in Greek they call him Apollyon. It's all
Yeah.
the same.
Apollyon.
It's all
CERN. Well,
same
that's because CERN is on the Apollyon site that was
Mhm.
conquered
Yes,
for
yes,
real, right
yes.
on the
No.
site. Yeah, that's
Uh,
scary. So they're
yeah.
literally doing magic, black
Mhm.
magic. That's what they're doing. They're opening portals through black magic, and they must be doing incantations, cursing people, cursing the world, cursing God,
Yeah.
and this is creating a very negative energy that some people are feeling. I
Yeah.
know that for a fact.
This is the throne of Zeus. Okay, which people think that Zeus is actually Satan. Some people believe,
Yeah.
and when you look at here, this I think is where CERN. This where this used to be the original one. I think it's where it touches where CERN is, and if I'm not mistaken, Obama, while he was president, had a stage that he made that had this,
That could be.
mockingly,
Yeah. Absolutely.
What
Absolutely.
I think is that people have trouble believing in all this spiritual stuff, but I think that it's almost like a cosmic breath in and out,
Yeah.
close and far. And during the Old Testament, we look at this, we go, "This is a bunch of crap." You look, but I think that I think that there is a cyclical cycle where the spiritual world and the physical approach very close, and then they disappear. And when they come close, that's like in the Old Testament, and then they disappear. Then Jesus came. Okay, there's like weird stuff happening, then it disappears, and now the end time is approaching. And I think that we just think, oh, that's crazy, but start looking at the scientists. Okay, they're the ones talking to entities, the
Talk
quantum
about everything that we did not
wave,
think they would say. Yeah.
CERN.
Yeah.
They're using religious terminology. When we look out into space, the infinite vastness, but the more that we get technology to peer deeper and deeper into matter the other way, it seems like matter is more infinite than the finite universe. And when they start getting deep into this, they have no choice but to start using these religious
It's so scary, Jason, because listen, we're probably already there, but and maybe even further. But they're humans, if not already, they're going to create a biological being, and I
Mhm.
believe that they're going to start by doing it with small beings. They're going to
Okay.
literally try to make ant-sized beings, and then maybe they'll try to bring it up to the size of a pig, and then maybe they'll say, well, let's make giants, because Zuckerberg from Facebook, man, he gave 230 million friggin' dollars during the election. Well, and we're not allowed to talk about those, but during the selections a couple of years back, there was problems in the States. Gave
Mhm.
many millions of dollars, and he's making robots. You can look this information up. Zuckerberg is making robots that are 25 to 30 feet tall to protect his island.
Mhm.
So it's all done with artificial intelligence. Have you
Mhm.
seen those dogs? I'm sure you saw it. I think we talked about it at one point. The dancing robots, where they thought it would have been fun showing the first robots dancing. They're animal dogs. So the first time they show this artificial intelligent dog, which by the way, the police in New York use to send into apartments to pull out crackheads. So this what the frig? It walks
Yeah,
into the thing. It goes up to it grabs you and it pulls you down the stairs like just like in the
yeah, like
movies. That
robots.
dude. Yeah.
They don't. Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Real quick, then I'll let you answer my name. Russia said, as you'll know, and then Russia said that the next war, before the Ukraine war, the next war will be fought with direct energy weapons and through frequencies. There will be no more ground wars.
Yeah.
The war starts, and they use food from Russia way back to the Soviet Union time.
Mhm.
That's crazy. They're using old Panzer tanks during World War II. It's
Wow.
crazy that they're doing that. They have no weapons, they have no bullets. And so, just to say that the technology that they're doing, the elites are advanced.
Yeah.
The countries are full of shit. They're just puppets. They don't have
Yes.
nothing. The U.S. doesn't even know how to scramble jets, man, at the Trade Center, or even though it was deliberate there, but still, it's
Mhm.
ridiculous. It's crazy.
Yeah. No, it is. It's insane. They were making they were playing and splicing to make one of these. Give me a sec. I'll show you. Um, this here. So they found out. I forgot what they did, but this is another like kind of hybrid genetic manipulation, and they
Oh, I
realized
love that.
they
Yeah,
did
it's
something
interesting. They make a big.
where
Go ahead.
these things keep growing. So it kind of like adds again, like, oh, there's some plausibility there because they're playing around and they're making very, very large animals. Again, is there anything?
Gigantism. There's a lot of excuses where they talk about Goliath being 6 cubits in an arm or something, which is 9.5 feet, 9.5 feet approximately.
Yeah.
They talk about gigantism. I get it. Gigantism is like, look away. Somebody can
Yeah,
have a big
that's
face, or you're not going to grow 30 feet. What the
no,
hell are they talking about
I
gigantism?
think that I've seen like those people that have a gigantism, they're disproportioned, they're
Yeah,
not stronger, and they
no.
die faster because they
Well,
don't
yeah,
stop.
you can tell. Like the guy
Their
had
heart,
gigantism, that
their
tallest
heart
man in the
keeps them.
world.
Yeah, their heart. The thing is with gigantism is everything grows, but your organs included. So eventually, their heart enlarged. They get congestive heart failure. That's what Andre the Giant, the people we saw at Guinness Book of World Records, and you can
Yeah.
sell that. They're whole. They have like crutches. No, we're
Yeah,
talking.
Robert, he walks and he's got like these stick long arms,
Yeah.
which he looks thin. Like the
Yeah.
biggest man in the world looks thin until you see his hand. His hand, like
No.
it hides the screen. He's got a hand like that, man. It's crazy.
Here, I think I have a skeleton that is
Yeah,
real. Now, I got to warn people, when you start looking into the giant skeleton remains and stuff like that, at one point, what they did is they made a competition for artists to create the most realistic dig sites. And I think that was done on purpose. It was like, hey,
course.
crap, you know what? Like, we don't want them to know about the giants. Well, the Smithsonian already like collected and destroyed them all. So, you know what I mean? Like it's all been hidden.
It's all
And-
planned, and like the Navy's in accordance with the FBI, in accordance with DARPA, in accordance with the Vatican, in accordance with the WEF forum, and they're
Yeah.
all running the world, making it look like, oh, look, someone in another country did something, when it's all of them together.
Yeah. Here's a cool one on Jude, because Christians, for some reason, they're fine. They're fine with the parting of the Red Sea and everything. But when it comes to angels coming down and mating with women, they're like, okay, I just can't handle that. But if you look at Jude,
Yeah, I
who-
mean, listen, we're
check
all pretty
Jude-
sexual, I
check
think.
Jude
Are we
out,
not?
what it says.
Are we
It
not all
says-
pretty sexual? Go ahead, man.
Hey, what's that?
Are we not all pretty sexual? Like, are not all races sexual? Like a monkey smelling his ass and then screwing his mom? I mean, every being is sexual, and there's a difference with civilized, because I think we're all as sexual. We're just civilized. There's a difference. It's like, well, I'm not going to harm that child. A child is innocent. Then you got the other one saying, I'm going to eat the child.
Yeah.
It's like,
No, exactly. Check out Jude, okay? Because
hey, Jude.
this is for Christians that like to say, "Oh no, you know what? It was just humans mating with the line of Seth." Oh, okay, and created giants, and I'm not sure about that. But Jude makes it very clear the theme of what happened with the angels. Here he says, "And the angels who did not keep their first position of authority up in heaven, they abandoned proper dwelling. These he has kept in darkness, bound with everlasting chains for judgment on the great day." But look, what does he compare the sin with? In a similar way, Sodom and Gomorrah and the surrounding towns gave themselves up to sexual immorality and perversion. So it's very clear that Jude is saying those angels, I'm comparing them to the sexual debauchery happening in Sodom. And what's really funny is that Christians don't realize that those two angels that go into Sodom to take out Lot and his family, who seem just as degenerate as everyone else, I'm not sure about that one, but
they're so dumb,
those
eh?
two angels
Sodom.
went in. People were banging down the door because they wanted to have sex with them. Now,
So that's why
is
they
it-
call them so dumbs, because they're so
Yeah.
dumb.
No, but what I mean is, why did they want to have sex with these men? Did they know they were angels? Were they trying again to do the same thing?
Were
And
they
is
trying to
that
save
why
the
it's-
race? Were they trying to save a race that their God had just condemned?
All I know is that
try
it
to get
seems
back
that-
at God by destroying His beautiful creation, by
Yeah.
changing the
Well, yeah,
essence
of course,
of
of course.
humanity.
Yeah, it says right from Genesis, enmity between seed and seed. What the hell is seed? It's egg and sperm. Here in
Yeah.
Corinthians, you also see the reason why women are supposed to cover their head. Just weird things that Christians will read by, but they don't know context.
And they
because
say Goliath. Do you believe Goliath could be a true story? Like, I mean, do you believe that
Yep.
they're? Yeah.
I'm a crazy Christian. I believe it all.
No, there's nothing crazy about it. Like I said, I mean, that's why I like talking to you about that, because we can agree to disagree, right?
Yeah.
And Goliath, there's one thing that they mention, which it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. But what
Yeah.
the scientists are lingering on is
Yeah.
that, get this, I thought it was pretty funny. It's sort of like the scientists' way at getting back at religion. They said, Where did they put Goliath's shield and
Mhm.
sword? But it's like, guys, he's 9'5".
Not
It's
that,
not
yeah.
going to be a swimming pool friggin' sword there.
No.
The guy's
Agreed.
9 foot. He's going to have a 5-foot sword or something like that. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not going to be there. People are looking for a bridge sword the size of a bridge because, you know, uh, Goliath. I've seen the story of Goliath. His image, he looks like he's 70 feet tall there. You know,
Oh, yeah.
and you want the funny part? David, back in his year, the tallest human was 5'5". How tall was David? 4 foot, 3.8, something like that. They said. So you just see this 3.8 with a slingshot, you know, which I thought it was an amazing story, you know, when you think of it.
for sure. Here, let me share screen this one again.
Remind me to show you a very short clip of a woolly mammoth head they just found, man. Hundreds of feet wide.
Well, you've heard as well the T-Rex remains that still have flexible vessels and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm a young Earth creationist. It's only 6,000 years old, but I don't think they're accurate. I don't think that it is 5 billion years old. Okay, because if there is still like vessels that are we're not talking about woolly mammoths. Woolly mammoths, I understand. Like if you look at what they claim, they weren't extinct that long
They're
ago.
saying they're saying it's the permafrost. They're a bunch of losers. They say the permafrost has frozen the chlorophyll into the vegetation, and even the food in the mouths of these dead people that are found in the ice, the food is still moist, and it's like, okay, you know, apparently, you know, because of you know, and we'll never know, you know, like you said, it's always the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
They're going to be like Smithsonian's going to be able to destroy. They have money. They're buying out. Who would not sell it, man? If I found a giant and Smithsonian wants to give me $6 million, they can do what the hell they want with it. I'm going to take the $6 million. Right.
Yeah. I take 50,000.
You know, yep. That's it. Money makes the world go round.
Anything to pay my electric bill. Eliel says all the megalithic structures all around the world are built with doors made with the length of giants. Coincidence? Yeah, of course, a coincidence.
Of course, that's vrai. Really true, Elios. Yep.
Yeah, I'm just
there's doors in the mountains, right? That how awesome is that? The mountains is filled with you know openings. Doesn't it intrigue you that people were up in the mountains and people were like not understanding how they were there? Well, maybe there was water up to there. Maybe there was a flood. It says in the Bible that there was a flood, and everyone goes, isn't it weird that all these entrances are at the top? Why the hell are the entrances at the top? Well, maybe there was water. Maybe there was snow all the way up to there.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I believe in the flood. I have
seashells in the desert, bro. Seashells in the desert. Yeah, there was
seashells on Everest.
Yes, you're right about that. And not a theory, proven. There's literally seashells up there on Mount Everest. And the Bible does say that it was higher than what? Mount Sinai? Higher than the highest point or something? Like it covered all mountains except for like one mountaintop or something?
No, every mountain was covered.
Yep.
Let me show
Mount Sinai is actually, but no, that's probably a sea you rubbed off on me. Hey, little bugger. Remember you told me about Mount Sinai, the black color? That interested me. That's interesting.
We can pop that up in a second.
No, it's okay.
I was already planning.
I know.
I just want to
It's interesting. It remains interesting, you know.
Yeah. So like this stuff there, you know, this ain't false, man. I truly believe that these are fallen angels, or they are the demigod Nephilim. It's funny that in Paul says that the angels that rebelled, that caused the whole sexual immorality, that caused, you know, the need for flood, he says they're held in chains of darkness. You know where? Tartarus. And you know where the Titans are, the giants in Greek mythology? Tartarus.
Yes.
Of course, Paul's using Tartarus because
that's
the Greeks
the name
were
of the
there.
place back then. Yeah,
But the Indians, they have here. I'll just bring it bigger.
While
You
you're
see
making it big, real quickly, Jason, you're probably going to repeat the same thing. Ancient tribes, British military confirm, and even explorers as far back as Christopher Columbus having seen Indian tribes with like a pygmy race, very small people. Actually, okay, I'm going to
pygmies
shut
are
up.
small.
You're showing that right now. Go ahead. That's what we're looking at.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
anyways, it's all to say is that almost, I'm generalizing, a vast amount of cultures have a similar flood story. A
Yeah.
vast amount of people have mythologies about giants. These are the I think this is the Lovelock. Oh no, this is the legend of Sitekai.
Yeah.
They're
Double mouth.
red-haired giants in Nevada.
Yeah.
Funny, we can, if we don't forget, we can go see what the American Marine.
Six fingers, and two sets of teeth. Yeah, I talked about last stream.
What the Indians used to do is when they greeted each other, they used to say "pow." And they used to show their hand to show they didn't have 6 fingers.
Yeah.
So despite
you know what the how was is because there's another part of the story missing. It's actually the first encounter was, how the hell do you have 6 fingers? But they cut off the sentence so we wouldn't know what they said.
That's it. So like we know that we have the capacity. They're talking about, we're gonna mix human genes with pigs so that we can harvest the heart and the heart won't get rejected, which sounds great. Again, it just sounds amazing. Oh, we're gonna use nanotechnology to fight cancer. It's like, yeah, I get it, but you guys are selling us this because it's useful, but we know we're gonna get screwed by it. Okay, before you know it, but DNA manipulation, again, all these stupid things that mythology and stuff like that. It's not my phone. So all of these things here, it might be real. Like, I mean, they're doing some wacky stuff.
Yeah, boy. I like hearing that, but I'm happy to hear your side of that. There's a possibility that DNA manipulation occurred, because if I'm not mistaken, the Muslim religion, not to get into that, does not believe that humans have changed throughout time. I learned that this afternoon. They believe that humans will always and have always remained a human, so I don't believe so. I believe that we were manipulated, whether it was by demons or whatever, or aliens or whatever. Like I said, you said yourself at the beginning, it's just a term we're giving, aliens or demons.
Well, aliens, it just means something foreign.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, yes. And when I say alien, yes. When I say extraterrestrial, intelligent being, not the same.
Specific.
But yes, there are things here on Earth, phenomena that are alien to humans that we don't know about. CERN's creating elements themselves that have never been created in this friggin' universe, which is totally stupid. They're going to kill us,
Yep. Yeah.
They're going to absolutely kill us. Methane, when it touches the atmosphere, it reacts. Methane is very volatile, and we have methane in our atmosphere to be able to breathe. But if they do a manipulation, or they open this element and this element comes out, it's methane, and it reacts with Earth, we will blow up. We will literally blow up.
Yeah. Here it says these skeletal figures represent just a few giant human remains unearthed and documented in historical records, along with the historical accounts of Goliath. Of course, this is worth nothing because they're all destroyed.
Right. Why aren't they in museums? And then he goes to a museum shop.
Yeah.
Because that's not real.
It's not on showcase anymore. And I know
that one's not a real one. That's a replica. The other one's is hidden, probably on the moon somewhere or something.
Possibly. But I know that this one was presented and quite like most of the time, the museums don't put the real one. They put replicas.
Right.
But this one, there was the Queen Elizabeth. I have another picture of her looking at it. So I know
I have it on my video too. Yeah.
But it might be too small to see, but you guys can just punch in New York Times giant skeletons. And these are articles. And if you notice, 1900s, 1856. This was before, academia, the theory of evolution comes, because this doesn't fit in the theory of evolution. I think that's why they were taken away, hidden, and destroyed. But you can do your own research. Make sure that this isn't a hoax. That is, we could technically go to the New York Times and ask for the publication that was published May 4th, 2008, and they're plastered everywhere.
Why do they bring out truth and sometimes not? Times, okay, magazine,
Yeah.
biggest pieces of shites now with the transhumanism and stuff.
Yeah.
But sometimes, they'll turn around and say, well, they found a giant in Ohio buried 17 feet long. They'll come out and say it. Why? It pisses me off that they do that.
Yeah. I think back then here, things weren't so corrupt. I remember even when I was a kid, like the news, it was like, oh, now it's like complete, like, mind programming and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think these were, just real finds, and now it's like a big thing. So this is obviously the elongated heads. You see, these are sculptures. I don't know if this one's Nefertiti or not.
It is. That's
but-
Nefertiti. Yeah.
These are real. This one has still the red hair on it. And look, why do you think these cultures started doing headboarding on?
Yeah, you said it before. I said it. Yeah, Africans, they do that. It's to show higher stature. It's to show. Exactly.
To imitate,
The older you are, they have several rings on the neck.
Yes.
If the more rings you have, the more of a woman, amazing woman you are, more experience.
Well,
And you can see some sicknesses, Down syndrome or retardation. Don't forget, because of some poison or something, they're being born, like if they're eating out of lead bowls, they're going to be born all distorted and all.
I think again that when we're looking at, sorry, I want to share it. It's popped up again, right?
Yep.
So when you look at these guys, they're just trying, like we all agree, I think here, that they're imitating these demigods, these people that rule.
And why?
Right?
Because they were visited by them. Their ancestors were visited by aliens or
Of
something,
course.
or a higher being, like you said, religion.
And watch this though. You talked about the long necked. So you know those tribes there that put the rings.
Oh yeah, drives me nuts. That and they have their lip where they put a big wooden spoon like object inside of the lip, which is the sexier. The bigger the spoon, the sexier it is. Grandma, she's got a freaking plate on her face, like a plate. You know what you do, eh? You put the French fries in the bowl and you go, it goes in, and it goes back down, like a seagull, pelican.
So obviously we know ET's real, but anyways. I don't know, but I've heard of people, the Greys. Then there's the they're blue, blonde, blue-eyed, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I've heard talk of they're called long neck, and I'm thinking, okay, well, is that why the tribes? The tribes.
I think so. When they saw them with the long necks and the big heads, they wanted to replicate the big heads. So the Egyptians, if it was not that they were aliens themselves hiding their real friggin' heads in those helmets, it's because they wanted to signify this incredible event, which was maybe this massive paranormal or spiritual event that occurred. And there would have been some things built for the occasion, maybe some things like, isn't there an area, what area, Jason, that the Bible that the Bible talks about there being no vegetation or an ocean with nothing growing anymore or something? Holy shit. Imagine that. You know what I'd put? Like if they had internet, they could put their YouTube channel names on those and advertise and stuff.
Jeez. I'm gonna take her down.
Would you not be afraid of that in the woods? Me, I see a grandma with her thing going. Shoo, shoo. I'm like, okay. I would flip out the hell out, man, for sure.
There are some, like, obviously we could say that they made for a king a giant sword and stuff like that. But there are like swords and stuff like that in antiquity, like these massive, I guess, massive axes and stuff like that.
Massive
Um,
stairs. What about the stairs in India where you can't get up to the top of the friggin' pyramid because the stairs are like 80 feet tall? Each
mhm.
stair going up, and you have this massive giant, you know,
Yeah,
that for me, I believe that what if the giants, this is crazy, man. What if, me too, I'm crazy. What if the giants were coming out of the center of the earth, eh? Right?
I
They're coming
believe.
out of the center of the earth, and the humans, so that they wouldn't get eaten, would make a reunion point for them where the giants would climb up on this big pedestal and all the people would gather around them. And maybe the
Yeah,
giants were trying to inform them about knowledge, but at the same time manipulating them, trying to change their DNA. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because I have a hard time seeing a giant saying, "Hey, maybe we can have sex with these little creatures." Isn't that weird? It's like
Yeah.
if I go to the moon saying, "Hey, we can bang those buggers." It's not what I'm going to be saying. You know what the hell? If
Check
that's
this
so
out
cool.
here. Let me see. Revelation. This is a revelation. So this is what we just saw. That painting of Jesus and Mary with the circle and all the alien crafts behind. That's like antiquity. And if you look at here, CERN, with the destroyer again, their ceremony opening a portal with a freaking go head. But in Revelation it says, and he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. And there came out of the smoke locust upon the earth, and unto them was given power,
It
as
was
the
coming out of
scorpion
a nightclub.
earth have power. And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass or the earth, neither the green things, neither any tree, but only those men which not have the seal of God on their forehead. And to them it was given that they should not kill them, but that they should torment them. I want to see what it
What if
talks
we're
how
too
they
late?
are.
What if we're
Oh,
too late?
here, check this out. In those days, and the shape of the locust like unto horses prepared unto battle, and on their heads were crowns like gold, and their faces were as faces of men, and their hair they had hair on their head as women, and the teeth were the teeth of lions, and they had a breastplate, and his breastplate was iron, and the sounds of their wings was the sound of chariots and many horses. I mean, there's some nasty stuff coming out of here. And it
Yeah.
says, and they had tails like scorpions. And I think that this is what's happening. There are these beings in the astral plane, or whatever you want to call
Yeah,
it,
it could be
and
coming soon or
they're
not over here.
using technology because they know what's going to happen, or they think that they're going to gain immortality or something.
Or they're
Uh,
using magic. They're time. I mean,
yeah,
who says they're not time traveling? If they're
yeah.
not talking about it, they don't talk about time traveling directly. Use the term in the Bible, but there are many instances that could remind you of time traveling when they're talking about going through dimensions, as they do. He talks about the waters above and below the firmament.
Well, I mean, our dimension is time, space, and matter. It doesn't mean the dimension right beside has that fabric of time. So
No, it could be thousands of different layers of anything that we have no idea about. You
yeah,
know, we
check
can.
over here. This is the same as Shiva. It's just different. And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in Greek tongue has the name
Apollyon.
Apollyon,
Yeah.
and in Hindu language, Shiva.
Right.
So,
So the Apollo missions were for what?
uh-huh.
You know,
Aren't they
they
all named after some kind? I mean, if you think every
worse.
single
Yeah,
planet
they're
is
named
named after,
Dragon, Apollyon, Zeus. They even use the dark Isis. One of them is called Isis, which is the dark friggin' goddess of, I don't know, hell, I think, basically Isis. You know,
yeah,
and they use these big words and terms. So does SpaceX. SpaceX 666 right in front of their logo. 3 little sixes and stuff. I saw that. I said, what the hell? It's
yeah.
all six. The CERN 666. You know?
Okay. Yeah, I was just about to punch that up here. I'll screen share it.
Yeah, it's for real. 3 6s straight, right side up, all
Mm,
pulled together, so people can see them.
yeah.
And still people will look at that and say, well, it's not a 6, it's the CERN, it's the Hadron Collider turning around. So yeah, look
Yeah.
at that.
Yeah, that's
Let's be sure to put the 6 in all angles, because the 3 dimensions, they're
Mhm.
manipulating the physical world. You have 6s pointing in all dimensional areas.
Yeah. 666.
666, number of the beast, and at the same time, our genes in our DNA. There's a series of 3 numbers, 666, that has to do with the male and the female. So every time I hear the number 666, number of the beast, there's a metaphor to that. There's something behind that,
Mhm.
you know, to the secret of how humans were created. I believe there is a mathematical equation, but we'll probably explain most of it, most likely.
Yeah, yeah. No, like math is pretty crazy and stuff like that. How they can find truth in math. They can tell if it's true or not just through mathematical equations. It's like, nope,
Yeah,
I'm an
I
idiot.
know.
I can't figure that stuff out there.
No, me either. Me either. It is not, I prefer use common sense than explain it in a way that, Bruce, if LV.3 times the camillipus is
Mm,
equal to the barometer, well, that means that the filament is not going to extend through the protrusion of the, and you're sitting there going,
yeah,
trying to listen to what the hell they're saying makes absolutely no friggin' sense whatsoever. Bruce Schwartz. That's my theory. Bruce Schwartz, Montreal News. Thank you very much.
that's it. Thank you. All right, stop the stream.
Drops the mic drop, grabs the
That's
Yeti, drops it, drops the mic. Then there's no more volume. Guys like,
I'm just trying to throw down some of these. Here you go. This one here is for your fans. Just a minute.
I have a lot of religious people as fans. If you knew the whole group of my fans, a lot
Yeah.
of
Well,
different,
for
theories.
the alien fans.
Yep. Oh, I got lots of those.
Here you go. You put that in your green screen background.
Oh yeah. I don't even push it too much.
Yeah.
Jason, I love that one. Did you see the one of the alien that comes down to Earth? 2
Mhm.
aliens, and it's them looking at the Jesus Christ cross with Jesus
Mhm.
on the cross, that he's like dead on the cross with blood coming
Mhm.
down his hands. He looks at the other one that just came out of this little craft, and he said, "Dude, let's get the fuck out of here."
Yeah, they're messed up.
Yeah, but it makes people think, like, I don't get it. Well, it's because
Yeah.
we're saying the aliens are coming to destroy us. And now the alien just landed and said, "Oh my God, why is this guy nailed to a cross? Let's get the hell out of here." You know what I mean?
Yeah. Damn it.
There's Easter again, representation of Easter. How do I remember these? I looked at them so much.
Yeah. Don't get me started on the Christian holidays. They're not
Yeah,
Christian.
yeah.
Like I don't want to get into it, but like the Jews had all of these appointed times and festivals, and each one of them actually represents Christ. So they're celebrating Passover, right? Well, we consider Jesus Passover. So Christians should be acknowledging and having a great party with that, and saying, "Oh, we see Jesus as a Passover." They
Right.
have they have the atonement.
Right. Yeah.
Jesus atoned us and so all of the Jewish, which is actually like there's a reason why the old and new they support each other. No, they just left those festivals that are actually fulfilled in Christ to eat chocolate rabbit shit
Yeah.
and presents and stuff like that for spoiled children that like are fighting under the tree for the toys. Very very good job, Christian.
Once Ash Wednesday, now Hash Wednesdays.
Yeah, now it's Hash Wednesday.
Yeah.
Is there any more cool pictures?
There's one. Oh, that's me. Sorry.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there. Very cool stuff. All right, let's go here. I'm just going to throw down. Let me share screen. Let's look at some more of the ancient technology and stuff. Do you have any? Okay, are you able to?
Yeah. Like I could do a quick presentation of 3-4 minutes, and
Okay.
then we can go with what you did.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
test it. You want me to test it right now while you're doing that, or
Yep,
want me to
yep,
wait?
yep, yep. No. I'm
No,
just trying to see if I can find another cool one.
yeah, take
That's
your time, man. You're probably going to see the message to accept what I'm presenting. So,
yeah.
but I want to wait till you find what you want first. Get all lined up. And
No,
then
I
we'll
was
go.
just trying to look for like, but they seem to become like
Dude,
similar.
every single image there. I mean, we could have a podcast. I mean, it's incredible. Eh? There's lots of
Yeah,
information
like
over there.
I mean, we could go on for 12 hours there.
Those of you
There's-
not
Yes,
looking, those of you not looking for information, I mean, is crazy. You know, you should be really trying to find out. So if I go
Try and-
present, yep, I'm going to do it right now. Present, it should be simple.
Okay. If people
Share
are
my
wondering what I'm doing, unfortunately, I'm an idiot. I'm addicted to nicotine replacement. Yeah. No, some guy was getting mad at me. It's like, deal with it.
Getting
Okay.
mad, yeah. That's actually funny. I would do it on purpose. I would do it on purpose. When God's telling you, don't push it. Don't push it.
What's funny though, if you overdo it or you're not used to the nicotine spray, it induces violent hiccups. I don't know like why, and it's embarrassing. I tell you.
Yeah.
Okay. I
Okay,
don't see
I'm sharing the screen. It's right there. I might have to click on. Can you see it now? Can you see my desktop? Oh, I hope so, because
Yep.
you should.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's red. Like
Yeah, right.
the
So look
button
at
is-
this. I'm putting you all down. Just keep. You can still see all the desktop now, Jason.
Yeah, I see all of the like the.
Okay, well there we go. It won't be long, and you watch. We'll do this really quickly. But first, I
Take
want to
your
show
time.
you this one, bro. You are going to love it. Extremely short, 30-second or 40-second video, just quite simply of the woolly mammoth, no volume. I want to show that to you, and then I'll go into the other video, and we'll do it quickly. I'm going to play it right now. There's the farmer. People will do their own research. Just came out. Look at that. Let me pause it. That is the brain, the crown, the skull of the woolly mammoth. And
Wow.
look at that, the horns on this side, the horn on the other side, just to give people an idea. If we're talking about giants walking around, these animals are beyond big. No human being could be on the ground. They would have to be living inside of Earth, I believe, in the theory. So if we let it play, you can quite simply see it. It'll start playing at one point. It is playing. Let's go ahead. Right here. There's where they're digging it out. Tunnel there, because he's just trying to put his drain in, the farmer. Then you can see here, that's it. So it's basically the image that's going left to right, where that one there. You can see that that's the woolly mammoth's brain, like skull, not brain.
Yeah.
You
Imagine
know,
the
but listen, Jason, you and I with dirt could reproduce this. I mean, I'm not hiding that it's easy to stump people. But don't forget that in general, they're hiding most of the stuff. So that one's done. We're going to see this one really quick, which I had presented this one here on my stream a week ago or two, but maybe not that long. It'll be an interesting one. I'm going to play it quickly and go through them quick enough. There's no volume. So real quickly, look at the size. So this one is, by the way, I'm giving you the ones that the governments are declaring. This one, you can look it up. In Australia, there's a 5-meter skeleton that they declared having found. You can see the femur. You can see the ball and sockets, which, the discs and spine, which would be pretty incredible if they're real. This one here is a 5.3 meters, 17 foot and 4 inches one in India, if I'm not mistaken. And you can see that my house is 20 foot long from front to back. So this is basically the size of my house, the length of my house, right? Like lying down from front to back. So look at it here. This is a massive pole. It's hard to understand the size sometimes when you look at it that way. But here, this one here. Sorry, man, go ahead.
No. Go ahead. I'm just like saying, it's hard to see the dimension. That's why they usually put something
It
beside.
is. It always is. Yes, very hard to see the dimension. So this one here, somebody told me, Bruce, it looks fake because they're brighter than the skeleton. Guys, seriously, be careful. I will take a picture Okay. And I understand lighting very much. And I can help those of you that don't understand lighting that if somebody's wearing a white shirt, it's going to look more reflective and refractive. This
Okay.
is all old bone. Okay. So all this dirt does not have anything to be luminescent or to have any luminosity except his shiny head does because he doesn't have any dusty dirt on it. This is dusty dirt. It's thousands of years old, and people are expecting to see the same blurriness. But somebody told me, Bruce, the blurriness of his face is not like the blurriness of the image. Sadly, it is. And if somebody is retarded enough from the Smithsonian Association to say, oh shit, I forgot to make the guy as blurry as the image. These images are impeccable when they show up. And most of us will look at this and say, oh, well, that doesn't coincide with that. No, that looks fake. Oh, why is there a book there? It makes no sense. It's like people are quick to judge, including me. Everyone's quick to judge. Jason, this is an alien, declared an alien species, or sorry, not true. I got mixed up with a species, a giant species. If I'm not mistaken, this is from the red-headed ones from Ohio. In the States is home of the red-headed giants, they say. The ones with 6 fingers and the ones with 2 jawlines, That is, real quickly, what they declare a giant race had built. And that's where they found giants. So again, all these things can be looked up. I just wanted to show that real quickly. It looks a lot also like what we see on the moon and ancient Mayan structures. But when I look at that and I see that right here, there's a straight line and there's a connection here and coming down, and you can see that's just like, literally just like on the moon. Here's the big one. Real or not, who knows? It's ginormous. It's on an old wheelbarrow, beginning 1900s, end of the 1800s. By the way, this looks like Moe and Curly and the Three Stooges, but it's not. But in general, these men have names, and this image is well known. It is an image that is well known. Jason showed a whole slew of different sizes of skeletons before, and it says, and he was right, in history, they've come up on newspapers and everything. So here's a close-up, I think, of another image I showed you maybe before. We can see Le Rotule, a big-ass piece of obviously petrified bone, which has become rock by now.
Yeah.
Very interesting. This one, very controversial, because when you look at it, you go, come on.
Yeah.
How could they be that bloody, big, 5 meters of bloody head there, right? And you can see these long, elongated bones. For me, that's not gigantism. No. That is that there were giants here before humans. Maybe even humans are not from here, but it remains an interesting image. Another one here, very interesting. And again, like, Jason mentioned before, looking at this tells me nothing because we have no context of what size is this. Is this like, could my shoe be this long, or is this 40 feet deep, right? So of course, some of them are going to be hard to see. You got to take it with a grain of salt. For those that don't know, archaeologists, they do this. They set up all these different squares to try to indicate each find and, to preserve where they were found. So all over the world, that's basically what they're doing. That's the one we saw. What was special about that one, if I'm not mistaken? Another thing, very important. Notice that the hands are all hidden. There might be one that's not hidden. This one obviously could be a real one, or he took the size of what he believed was maybe one that was found a long time ago. Like Jason says, some of them are destroyed. I've mentioned it plenty of times myself. This one, Jason, very interesting. The Amazonian giants. We're almost done here. The Amazonian giants. Look at this, bro. This one intrigued me. Look at the hands. Okay. Yeah. Right here. Okay. I know for a fact the thumb is not going to be pointing that way. No way in hell that this is a thumb. Well, very clearly in front of you, the Amazonian giants have 6 fingers that I looked up. And here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight fingers. Where's the thumb? Could it be underneath or inwards? Was he crucified? Anyways, many things can come up. You know, what's that? You know, sometimes giants, they used to bury not necessarily giants, but people that they thought were vampires because of vampirisms used to plant a sword inside of their jaw so that their souls would not be able to come out. Or you must have seen, Jason, when they put a giant rock inside of the mouth of a deceased person so that the soul will not come back to life. You know,
Yeah.
it's scary stuff, but all rituals. You touched a really good one when you mentioned before about the possibility of them. I mentioned it myself, but for me, I
Yeah.
believe that very strongly, that if they're imitating big heads and aliens or long necks, could they have been replicating higher beings that came to Earth? That one, it did not go in my ear and go out the other one. That's,
Yeah.
11. So we have here, we'll say the height a bit further, if I'm not mistaken, 7 and 8 feet.
Mhm.
So 7 and 8 feet today is not impossible. Andre the Giant's almost 8 feet or 9
Yeah.
feet. But the problem is these bones carbon dated, if they coincide to 1,000 years ago, they would be giants because people were only
Yeah.
5 feet tall back in those days. So they tell us, but it could be the opposite because when you go back to ancient times, they were humongous.
Yeah.
This is very interesting. You look at what they're doing, the posts and around, and honestly, it's easy to manipulate a picture, but
Mhm.
if it really was a real giant, would it not just look like this, the image?
It would.
I mean, in reality,
The
look
problem
at
what they did, see there are real ones, and because there was real ones, that they freaking made in a competition.
right,
Hey, so
right.
now when you start looking up, it's like there's fake ones, but there's real ones. And then after you go to Reuters and they're like, oh no, this is all. And when you
Yeah.
try and talk to typical people, that right away they'll be like, no, I fact check it's false. Like
Yeah.
no, there was a lot of fact checking the last 3 years, right?
Yeah.
know?
Exactly.
So it's like most of the people, it's like you can't even talk to them about
Right.
like, you know,
Right. And
um,
you said it like, you said the cane, the ones that are tall, they look broken. Look at him. This guy can't walk. Look at his legs.
no, exactly. He's not
What is
strong. He's not a great man of renown like the Bible says.
No.
These giants were warriors.
Yeah, exactly. But could he be a descendant of one? Well, maybe, right? If they came and fornicated with humans. Just a real quickie, but very fun to see that this guy can pick up the bloody donkey by his neck, and these people here, he's tall. It's not that it's impressive, but you can see that, I don't
No,
know, I'm going to take a guess here, 100 years ago, 150 years ago, there still were some very tall people, and this would be the standard probably size of people.
Have you seen on YouTube? There's a lot of a family they're like 7-8 feet. I can show you after they're
Yeah, I
making
think so, because we're almost done. Yeah, absolutely. This one, Jason, is scary. So if they wanted to manipulate it, make a fake one, I mean, I do agree that they could have done this, but holy shit. How would they bury a giant at this size? Would they not bend their legs and everything to make the least dirt needed to bury them? And look at this guy. He's inside of the hole on the right side of his skull. And this guy in the middle could literally fit inside of the guy's femur, if it's real. But maybe
truth is stranger than fiction, like they say.
Yeah, absolutely.
I find that why do we enjoy things like Lord of the Rings and these fantasy things? I think that we're so attached to it because on a soul level, it's real to a certain extent.
We're made to explore. Our minds are made to explore. That's why when you and I used to play cars when we were young, or play Bob and Ron. I don't know why we used to always choose those names. You're Bob, I'm Ron. Okay. Anyways, playing
it was Ron Hextall and Mark Howe.
Mark Howe, yeah, the two hockey players, which
one was who? Was I Ron Hextall or something? Which one? I don't even remember who I was. I have amnesia of my true identity.
Oh, I was Mark because
okay.
I like the Howe. I remember that. It's true.
Are you serious? Can you show me
playing cars? Everything was
going
through our mind. Remember when you'd say, we're saying, Hey, look at what's going on over here. Well, now we put the Legos all over the place. There was a massive explosion in this company, and there's debris all over the place, and there's a chemical
good
plant.
imagination.
You know, yeah. So imagine somebody looking at this. Wow. Imagine a scientist's imagination running loose. So if you look at this one, you can see that there's some real digging that was done here. So they went underneath, maybe, I don't know, church floor, maybe a Roman Empire building, an old church. What do you think is buried under the churches? Why do you think they're not allowed to dig in the yards of a church?
Yeah.
Well, that here, the foundation, you can see that if it's real, again, that this is an ancient Roman giant. So we touched the Amazonian giants. There's, you know, Mayan giants. I've even heard that exist or not, but ancient Roman giants. So it's crazy that all these possibilities exist running right along here.
There was a Roman Maximus something. There was a like a historical, very, very tall. He was part of the Roman Empire and stuff, but I
yeah, exactly. And of course, you know, a lot of the stories came from that. Here, a guy again, you can see he's pretty big. There's a lot of, you know, green here, which, you know, if you look it up, there's reasons for everything when you look at all this. And again, take it with a grain of salt, all of you watching here. This one reminds me of a T-Rex, but it's very funny. It's a skull. It's definitely not from the human of our era. It would be maybe more a Cro-Magnon or you know, a Neanderthal like type of skull, because the oldest skull in the world is more elongated a little bit. The jawline here is longer. These look like primitive beings, like primitive apes or whatnot. But yet the brain, the skull looks the size of a human, you know, or maybe even bigger. Moving right along. Go ahead, man.
The thing with the elongated skulls and stuff like that is that when you do head binding and headboarding and stuff like that, it might elongate it, but it doesn't change the mass.
No, absolutely not. It makes it smaller, you know. Yeah,
very elongated, but
right. Your mass is distributed.
And there's one guy, I think his name is Mark Forrester. He's like the guy with these Paracus elongated skulls and stuff like that.
The older guy, eh?
He's not that old. I actually have him. I'll show you later so people can go look at his research. And what he's saying is, it's not only does it have more mass, that it doesn't have the typical parietal plates, those sutures that humans have. In a way, they have this big one that's sutured this way, instead of us. Us, it's like it's here. Anyways, there's a specific like place, you know, where
look right here. Look right here. Right here, you have a complete different skeleton. Humans don't have that here. And here, the line and how the collarbone and stuff are way different in size as compared to even some different shapes and forms in some of these skulls. You know, maybe they dug it up and they busted the skull there. I mean, look at the size of it. They could, if it's real, I mean, he could bloody get inside of the skull. And this one, Jason, is a very tall pharaoh that they did find. You guys can look up the tall pharaoh, 1.987 meters. Here's another one. We have, of course, we're talking about Egyptians and, you know, everything here, the serpent, and there's so much insignia, so many meanings here and levels of people will look at this and they go, oh yeah, just nice decorations. No, they didn't wear jewelry to be pretty. The Egyptians, they wore jewelry because it was related to frequencies and their inner ear. These beings were extremely advanced. We know probably not nothing or even half of what they did. An interesting one here, an elongated one. You can see it looks very, very long. This one reminds us of our friend Robert from the UK, or the one that was very tall, the one that we all know that was really 8.11 feet, by the way, Jason, that he was almost literally 9 feet. He was a bit shorter than Goliath, the way you look at it, you know, which is pretty incredible. This one, very interesting. Again, it could be one that's manipulated.
No, that's a real one.
Yeah, I know, but I'm positive too. But again, they could all be manipulated. But yeah, look at that. Look at the Masonic sign he's doing too. That is creepy as all hell. And
If I'm not mistaken, it's Irish, eh? This was fine.
you could be right. I don't have enough information about that one, but apparently it's very real. And of course, they stood the sarcophage up so they can get a picture of them. And like a giant, very, thin stature, they're just like made of sticks, right? It's like they don't make any sense when you look at the way they're built. Here's an elongated skull here that we can see. Obviously, the eye socket not the same as humans. The mouth here shorter and not at all the same. Elongated, crown here. But a lot of them were they keep lingering on. Oh, it's giganticism. It's giganticism. Maybe some Hinduism. You can see. I don't know if it's in India. You can see some insignia there. We're almost done here, Jason. A couple more shots. There's the one possibly.
Oh, that's the one. You know the one I just showed you before? It was a clearer view of the tall one. Remember?
This one?
No. Go to the skeleton with the Queen
This
Victoria.
One?
Yeah. The one that I showed you in the museum, that's the same one. Remember I said I know it's real.
This is Queen Elizabeth right here. Queen Elizabeth right
Elizabeth,
there.
sorry, I keep on Victoria. What am I talking
Yeah,
about?
well, Victoria's daughter. Yep, absolutely. And this is a massive skull, which I wouldn't be surprised it could be a real one. If not, like I said, like when they bury all the monks and nuns that are buried in the churches, the bodies and ashes are usually cremated underneath the coffin of a wax figure. Did you know that?
No.
And that truth came out. There's one in Russia where they got this guy, Russian Soviet guy, one of the worst. He's sitting there lying down like that, and in his face, you can see all his face, but the urn is underneath, and they bury him all there. So yeah, that's way back. She's very, very young. This would be in the 50s for sure, and she's going around looking at giants. Jason showed this one before, some of the pictures we're finishing up here, but again, the crucifixion, like you said, this one, interesting.
That's another one.
Yeah. And there's not for nothing here that this man right here on the right is looking like this up into the sky. There's an object in the sky there. There's also 1, 2, 3 in the sky on the other side underneath a massive something that's opened up. And I don't know if people can see it. I think it's my imagination, Jason.
Mm-hmm.
It really is my imagination, but watch this. It's not there, but you're going to see it. Look at the man here. Ape man. Shoulder, eye, nose, mouth looking up there.
You're not able to put a pointer, are you? Like
I'm pointing right now. I'm pointing right now.
If you right click it and then use a red pointer, like a laser thing, do you have that option if you right click?
Nope.
Oh, it's too bad. Okay, wait. Yeah. Yeah, because I see where you are, but like I just realized your little thing is there. So mine's a little bigger. Mine's bigger than yours. It's okay, Bruce. Size doesn't matter. It's over here. This is where Bruce is pointing.
14-inch optical head, but carry on.
14-inch optical head. I got an acre of land.
Yeah. My dad's stronger than yours. Yeah, so can you see that? Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, this here. Yeah, it's like a sphinx.
Yeah. Here's her teleportation device. I don't know what the hell she's looking at.
This thing, yeah.
It's
her steering wheel for,
exactly.
Definitely,
in her spaceship, and you can see it further out here. That now, real interesting, Jason. You'll be able to do it yourself. Did you know that in the Last Supper, the same mother is right there looking up at the UFO that's right behind the doorway of the Third Supper, the Last Supper.
Do you have it? Do you want me to pop it up, or do you have it?
You can pop it up. Hang on, Jason. I'm done here.
No, keep on talking, but I'll pop it up while you're.
Yeah, I'll keep talking, but I'm going to hand over the presentation to you. Stop sharing. There we go. Now I'll continue talking while you're setting up, and I'm going to go back.
I just brain fart. What am I supposed to? Oh, the Last Supper. Okay.
The Last Supper. Yeah, very interesting to see if we can get some signs of Mary Magdalene, dude. With the infrared camera, when you look at the Last Supper, you see a lot of things. Look at the Mona Lisa with your infrared camera, and I'm telling you, you can see all the different layers inside of the Mona Lisa. It's crazy, crazy stuff.
Last Supper.
My chest.
It's in the back window, right? It's through the window.
If I'm not mistaken, it would be to the back right side of not Jesus, but the painting.
Trying to look.
Actually, I'd have to look myself. Maybe am I
But
hallucinating?
I know what you mean. I've seen it too, but I don't even know if I have the
Yeah,
original.
and you know what? There's
Doesn't look like
writing and codes and lettering all into the art and design of the Last Supper.
Mhm.
See if I can see it real quick too. I wonder.
Yeah, because I have all these Last Suppers, but they don't look like the original famous artwork. That one might look a little bit. I don't know if I can see it though.
Thanks for coming in, everyone. We're always having fun. Look, is that a UFO? Jesus's head. Oh, could be that. Hold on. Discovered in these historical paintings. No. The Last Supper I wrote.
Yeah.
Why are they not giving me the Last Supper? Eat at Mike Submarine. God, are they ever stupid?
Well, they have good submarines.
Yeah.
Uh,
Da Vinci
so
had
okay, wait.
many
In the
supernatural-
Last Supper, what it's like? It's still an alien in the back, right? Through the windows or something.
should be something like that. Yeah.
So Last Supper, UFO. Let me try
I just
that.
don't want to. I went to look, but I think I did. I manipulate your screen. Did you guys? Did I? No. Because I'm
I
not
don't know.
presenting anymore. If I go, I went online. Just let me know
And
if
if you
ever you
want.
see it.
No. Yeah, we were seeing everything that you were doing before.
No, but like right now, I'm going online. I hope you're not seeing what I'm doing. Like I'm on Google now.
No.
Okay. All right.
I'll share screen and I'll show you.
Porn sites.
Yep.
Let's see here. The Last Supper. I guess
If you find it, let me know. Here's the Irish giant. Here they put the legend says that they had to put something across his privates because the ladies were fainting.
Oh, so like Elvis and stuff.
Yeah.
And the Beatles. Close your eyes. Okay,
Yeah.
there we go. Yeah. And then for those that don't know, when you go look up the Last Supper, choose the real painting.
Well, that's what I'm having trouble with.
There's lots of different paintings. So
Yeah.
okay, there's
wait, here.
two windows, one door. Yeah, go ahead, man.
Am I share screening? I forgot. No, I'm not.
No, I don't see it.
Yeah,
So
let me try. Keep on talking. I'm just going to share screen if you have more stuff.
yeah,
that you're-
absolutely. I'm still just trying to find the Last Supper, looking it up properly to see if that's the one.
This-
So we got
this
two
one
windows in the
isn't.
doorway.
This one isn't the Last Supper, but there again, you have this flying saucer.
Let's see. Let me go. I was on the other screen. Yes. Oh no, that's a good one. Yeah, I've shown that in
Oh,
the past.
but
It's the
look,
same one.
the guy.
Yeah, it's
he's
the same image. It's that
looking up
image. They put it close up.
Yeah.
That's
That's
exactly it. And you can see there's a ship there. You know, whether it's real or not, you can see that they're depicting a ship, which is very scary stuff.
Agreed.
And in the
Undeniable.
Last Supper, no, that's not the right one. I'll have to do the original one.
I love this stuff. I'm having a blast. I eat this stuff up.
The Da Vinci Last Supper original. There you go.
You have it? So you're going to share screen?
Well, I'm getting there. I will in a second.
Can I share screen? Just I want to throw down.
Yeah,
a
go
few-
ahead, man. Go right ahead, man. If I find it, I'm looking for
The
not
Tall
just the
family.
last. Pardon me.
They're called the Tall Family. Almost 1 million subscribers.
Oh yeah, the Tall family. I've seen them.
Yeah. The girl's pretty, actually.
He keep calling me crying, bitch. Dance how you killed this. I misunderstood the assignment. I misunderstood the assignment.
6'3", and he looks like
I misunderstood
freaking,
the. He keep calling me crying, bitch. Dance how you killed this. I misunderstood the assignment.
You're tall, eh?
Understood the assignment.
like these
I
people
misunderstood the.
are
He
tall.
keep calling me crying,
they
bitch.
don't
Dance
have
how you
gigantism.
killed this. I
I
misunderstood.
can only hear the volume of the
Talking
music.
and she
Better be
ain't trying
careful with
it. He
copyrights,
keep
man.
calling me crying,
Right,
bitch.
I'll stop.
Dance how you killed this. I understood the.
Uh-huh.
I was
But
anxious for you
those-
to be stopping this. I was anxious for you to be stopping this. No.
But like those people, they don't have gigantism. You could tell that they are
Right, you are.
functional, they are well developed,
Yep,
proportional. Like the girl's beautiful, actually. Like when you see her, she's
absolutely.
got the
Yeah,
legs up,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Imagine that in a
If you
G-string.
think of it, they could create a race of 8 feet people if they were strategically finding other people that tall and just kept, and just they could have all of a sudden an answer and just
Yeah.
get 8, 9 feet regular people. It's crazy. Did you have more to show, Bruce, or do I pop something up?
No, you can pop something up, man. I'm looking at and for The Last Supper. I'm not seeing. I know what the original one looks like when I see it, and these are not
Yeah.
original. Different
No,
colors
because
and
I
stuff.
believe you. I've seen it too, and I don't know why I can't find it.
Yeah,
I got
and
some.
literally, like, I mean, in the windows in the back, there's something in the sky outside, and it's funny. The one I'm looking at now is there's also a guy by the door that's pointing upwards,
Mhm.
and
This is undeniable. You can't fake that one.
let me see.
Am I showing it? Yeah.
Yeah. That is a literal
Like
footprint.
you can literally see like how the mud, would squish up on top of the toes as you're walking. I
Yeah,
don't think that's fake. I think that's like straight up legit.
could be. It could be, but man, you and I could do that. I mean, they could carve it in the stone too, but in general, giants do exist. It's not something that
Yeah.
is like, oh, maybe they exist. No, they actually really exist.
Yeah. Well, there now, of course, who knows, but there was an excavation, okay, supposedly. And what it was dinosaur tracks, but also human tracks,
Right.
but
Oh, I
it
think I know what you're talking about. Is that one? Like you just showed me.
it
There's
looks like
one
that, but
also
they
that has,
vandalized it.
yes, but there's one with bigger feet. The guy looks like he has friggin' 25
Oh,
size
maybe
feet.
this one, it was just a thing like, look, because in the Bible, it does have a one passage. It's called.
Jason, have you seen and heard the video of the guy that's deceased now in Ontario or the States? Could be the States. Showed a giant walking on top of the mountain.
No.
They showed him walking on top of the mountain, and they showed a helicopter leaving with a spacecraft or something. There's rumor that apparently it was taken on another angle and that's why it looked like a giant. But again, the guy is dead, and he showed himself going to the spot to show people. And when
Yeah.
he went there, an agent or someone in the black car got out, with glasses at 2 a.m. and said, "Go back to your home." And when he went home, the next day they were at his house. They went in, made him make a video, and then he's deceased now. A lot, but apparently some people said it was fake. I'm not going to hide that. A lot of people said it was
Look,
fake.
everything and anything. They'll say everything and anything, and that's what they use, these Reuters and fact checkers of. The guy's like,
Yeah.
look, it says it's fake. It's science. So it's kind of like
Right.
some people will never believe. Like it could be in front of them and they'll be like, no. But this is a passage in Job, and like, what do you think he's describing? Okay, it says, "Look at Behemoth, which I made along with you, and which feeds on grass like an ox. What strength it has in its loins, what power in the muscles of its belly. Its tail is like a cedar." Like I'm seeing like imagine a brontosaurus. They are herbivores. Its
Yeah.
its tail sways like a cedar. The sinew of its thighs are close knit. Its bones are tubes of bronze.
This
Its
sounds like
limbs
my
are
ex.
rods of
So
iron.
far, it sounds like my ex.
Yeah, exactly. It ranks first among the works of God, yet its maker can approach it with its sword. The hills bring it their
Its
produce,
maker.
and all the wild animals play nearby until the
Its
locusts
maker.
multiply.
Its maker, he said,
Yeah,
which I
but
made along
yeah.
with you.
hmm
Human experimentation, animal manipulation, DNA manipulation, gene editing,
See
gene splicing.
this is what I think. Okay, I think that God created the dinosaurs they were like herbivores, the brontosaurus, all those herbivore ones God created. The angels came down, genetically manipulated, and created those like awkward like arms, and they were like, predatorial, right?
Yeah.
And that's why scientists now say, oh, chickens are raptors. They said they used to be dinosaurs, and they evolved to the chicken that lays eggs in the back. And I think it's because, you know what? They took the God's huge behemoths, there was a glory that was peaceful, and they mixed it possibly with birds, and then created abominations that devoured the land, just like the giants. That's just like a Lord of the Ring kind of thing. But I really think that because it's weird how the scientists are like, yeah, this is their ancestor is a raptor, and I'm like, really? And I'm like, but what if back then? Because in the Book of Enoch, I can pop it up. It says that they sinned against the land, against the birds. Like, what do you mean sin? Like, what, you ate them? Why are you
Right.
the fact that they sinned not only against man, they sinned against nature? What does that mean? To me, it just means, yeah, you know what? They knew how to genetically manipulate things, and that's why I find with these encounters of the fifth kind, or they're talking about, like it's all reproductive stuff. I find, at least the stories that you hear, it's like, and I'm wondering, like, those angels that mated, what if God made sure they wouldn't do it anymore? And now they've lost their glory. They're in these like little bodies, no junk. They can't speak hardly, yet they're highly intelligent. And like
It's
demons,
like, let's make a race like the little aliens. Like, let's make a race that don't need sex, because when they're in space traveling through galaxies, they're not going to say, oh, I miss my kids. Fuck it, I'm going back. Screw the government, I'm going back. No, they're just sitting there waiting for responses. They go, they kill a human, and they go back. It's like no response. They go back to their little huts and stuff like that, which is
I like Dennis goes, imagine St. Hubert barbecue at that time. Rotisserie. That's a good one. Good one.
Would be crazy. Hello to everyone watching my channel. I did a little test. I am streaming because we had an interesting conversation, Jason. So near the end of the stream, now I'm going to stream to have people come over and watch the beginning of your stream right here.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll do a little test. I didn't change anything here.
Yeah, try it.
No, it's done. I'm streaming. I haven't gone to see, but I should be streaming. I suggest everybody don't, take off from here. Please remain on Jason's channel to watch the stream. Try and encourage him to get the views. Let me know, Jason. Double check to see if you can see me stream
now. I'm checking.
I put it public, and we should be streaming. I said, check out Jason's channel.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it works perfectly. That's your channel.
Awesome. Hey, right on. Perfect.
I'm sure there's,
because this was an interesting stream.
Ooh. Yeah, it works perfectly. Yeah, perfect.
Oh God, even the time's good. Perfect, man. Awesome.
Yeah,
I'll be able to do that often enough.
Yeah, that's super cool.
So that means when I want to share something, think of it, man. When I want to share something of yours and I don't want to get a copyright strike, if I share you streaming, you can't even strike me.
No,
because I'm sharing it.
Yeah,
but I'm not getting the views. It's
like I told you,
I'll get views, but people will be commenting and it'll be going to you most likely.
I don't know, but now there's 41 people. How the hell did that just happen?
Well, they're coming from my channel, Jason. So you're gonna get more people here. I'm
cool.
sorry. Hold on, I'll turn that off.
You know what? You should have did this from the start, man. Then we would have 44 people and stuff like that.
We'll talk about the money later. We'll see with the.
Well, for me, it doesn't matter. I'm not monetized, so.
No, I mean on how much I'm going to charge you. I mean.
Oh yeah.
Free gift because I love you, man.
Here, let me. Let's put up the.
Don't get too excited now. Look natural.
I know. Just took a
It won't go much more than 40. Don't worry.
No, that's it.
Because if not, I'm going to open my channel and
45.
Jason John Swartz. Hey,
it's at 45.
On your channel, 45 watching, or my channel?
Well, it's 44. Well, now it's going to be both, right? Anyone watching on you. So is it
no.
There's 20 on. There used to be 20. So is it 20 on you and 20 on mine? I don't know. But
no, I have no idea. But I don't see Anyone, I didn't leave. Like I'm not on my YouTube. I'm here with you. I'm not even looking at what's going on YouTube, but people will be able to
Yeah.
to look in. So because it's very, very interesting.
Um,
We're just talking
okay.
about
I'm
all the
this.
UFOs and
I wanna
aliens
get
that we
the-
can see in
the-
all the art.
Yeah, man. If people
Hello to
are
everyone
just showing
listening
up
in.
now, you're gonna have to go and see the start of this stream. We're like 2.5 hours in. An amazing stream.
Yeah, flip through it if you guys want to see when we start talking about the good stuff. It gets pretty quick.
Bruce, do you see the slide?
Yep, the real reason God flooded
Okay,
the earth,
good.
the sons of God.
Let's
And though,
let's
real
just
quick,
go
wait,
through.
those watching right now, don't click off. We touched on religion in this video because it's bringing everything out in the open that giants really exist. But some really interesting points that we're talking about, you know.
Yeah, if you go back to the start of the stream, you'll see that me and Bruce are just taking the exact same information and viewing it at different angles. I think it's
Yeah.
interdimensional, and me being a Christian bigot, I find that I'm able using the Bible to fit all of this weird stuff that's happening still within the biblical context. And Bruce is taking it more, well, these are possibly within the universe advanced beings. And
Yeah.
that's why if you're religious or not, or you're more alien theory that we've been seeded, it doesn't matter, because the information you can use and add it to your worldview.
Absolutely. Listen, those just joining, do back it up a little bit. I'm serious, because I talked about the size of people back in the days. Jason also bringing out the context. Where in Scripture are they talking about it? Why is the Book of Enoch hidden? Does it go back to ancient Jewish times and everything? It's a complicated thing. It can't be spoken about in one stream. There's going to be lots of streams that we'll be able to talk about. Hey, you know, the red on my
Bruce,
shirt actually
yeah,
goes
give a
with my
second.
name.
I'm going to put you on full screen. Michelle just wants to talk, so I'm going to mute myself.
Yep.
Keep on going, Bruce. Won't be long.
Yes, no problem. So again, if you're just coming into the channel, this is Jason John Schwartz's channel. You just opened a Patreon channel because he's going to be talking about nutrition. That's what the only thing that's going to be spoken about there. Be lots of ideals without divulging everything of it. So today we talked about the Book of Enoch. We talked about giants. Giants really exist. We talked about gigantism. We talked about the way ancient African tribes and even the tribes today manipulate their bodies, like the elongated neck, about, you know, putting elastics and a strong band around your head to elongate the head to represent higher stature. Why did the Egyptians back in the days have higher, you know, helmets and crowns? Was it because they were alien, they were hiding that? Or was there an alien in theory? Was there an alien spiritual event or alien event? Whether you want to call it paranormal or whether you wanted to call it an event that there was a spiritual event where, you know, the Son of Man came down or whatnot. No matter how you want to look at it, there's a lot of people toning in to give their opinions. We got archaeologists, we have scientists. There's a religion through a religious perspective, like my brother's doing. There's, you know, Jason and I disagree, not necessarily. I think we have a lot of different theories in our minds, some more that we're leaning towards. But as for debating, Jason and I said it really well today. Whether we're talking about aliens, hey Jason, whether we're talking about aliens or biblical verses, it's terms that we're giving it. If I'm saying, well, God's maybe an alien, and you're going to say, yeah, well, alien is what to you? Is an alien a demon? Because it's very touchy. For some, an alien's a godly figure. No, some it's demons and you know, Nephilim. Also, we talked about. Back up, guys. It was very, very interesting, and there's lots of awesome comments and everything. Yeah, man. Whenever you get a chance, put on your volume, Jason.
Sorry about that. Yeah. So my granddaughter, is here, so Noah's going to keep her busy. Maybe I'm going to stretch it maybe 20 more minutes.
Yeah,
So-
well, this is what I wanted to do. I probably not much more, but it doesn't matter. I wanted to stay on a bit. I wanted to stream a little bit. Those of you coming over to Jason's channel, only and only if you're interested in the conversation, you can support him by subscribing to him. It's free. So go right ahead.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like me, I don't care about the views. I'm not monetized anyway. So
No, and they know it. Like I told my community, you don't have to go over to see my brother, but listen, Kai, Maria Ekman, you have, His Highness, David White, Darla, there's a whole bunch of people that are coming over, and I really love them for that. Julie Stats, Gate Smasher, always here. I love you guys for doing that. We're one big family is the way I look at it. That's the way I look at it. One love.
All right, here. All right, so right at the start, come here, sweetheart. Wait. Come here. Oh, sorry, Bruce.
No problem, man. Hello, princess.
Hey, Noah. Can you go upstairs and get the...
Said, is that the harmonica man that keeps playing the harmonica? Does the silly things online?
That's it. So look, in Genesis, it starts right away after the serpent. Here you go. I'm gonna give her some milk. Why? Right when we go and there's like 60 people, all of a sudden, like now
That's
there's
how it
lots.
is. Don't worry, the people that are here are all parents.
Yeah, exactly.
Most
So
likely.
I'll try and go through it quickly.
Let's do
Just to say, even within Christianity, we see that there is already a genetic war that's going to be occurring with humans and now with these aliens. So here it says Genesis 3:15. I will put enmity or hatred between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed.
First thing I should go in the fridge though is she wants to try to grab them.
Are you able to get a diaper, please, and play with her for 20 minutes? Put on Coco Melon, bring a diaper, and I'll change her. All right. So
Background music.
So we're talking about a seed war, and so we see that straight from the start. According to the verse, there will be enmity between the individual woman and the serpent. You know what, Bruce?
I already read your mind. I'm
like, oh my God, there's 62 people. Yeah, sorry. Like I gotta.
No need to be sorry. You got some new
my
people that are going to
granddaughters.
come. Some new
Not
people
fair.
will come by.
Yeah. So hopefully
suggest-
people will look at the rest of the video. It was amazing. It just
Jason,
means
thanks,
that
man. It
there's
was awesome, man.
A lot
It
of
was
stuff
awesome.
means that I can come back because that presentation, there's hardly anything that we saw. So it's just another reason to do it. And next time we'll do it this way.
Hey, a silly question.
Yeah.
How am I going to end the stream? I guess when you end it, it'll end.
Yeah, you're probably like piggybacked on mine.
No, okay, I see it up there.
Yeah.
All right, you are live. Perfect. Oh, that's awesome.
I'll just where is she? Okay. We'll continue a little bit. Coco Melon is bribing her a bit, but unfortunately, I'll probably go through this a little bit rushed, and we can go another time more like slower.
Yeah. We got plenty of times. Look at Jesus. He's still trying to fix Earth. We got time to talk about it.
Yeah.
All
right. So
thanks for coming in, everyone. I love you all so much.
All right. Let me fast track through some of the images. This wasn't like a presentation. It was more like a bunch of slides just to have conversation topics and stuff like that. Do you see the slide, Bruce?
Yep. Genesis 3:15 again.
Okay. So like I said, we have Genesis 3:15. All to say is straight from the start, we're talking about a seed war. And the seed war means DNA, genetics, reproduction. And what they're saying is that obviously there'll be a war between the seed of the woman, Eve, which would be eventually Messiah, and the Antichrist, or,
And I hope it wasn't Adam and Evan. Carry on.
You never know now. So just, this is just looking at Genesis 6. It's probably very small, the writing, but for anybody who's not aware of Genesis 6, it basically says when humans began to increase in
Your
when
volume's
man,
going down. Your volume's going down.
is it okay now?
Perfect.
Okay. Basically, Genesis 6 says, when man began to multiply on the face of the earth, the sons of God, angels, descended onto the daughters of man to bear children, great men of renown, and they were giants. And those giants were there before and after the flood. If we take the first book of Enoch, we're going to see that in the first book of Enoch, it explains that the flood that occurred was basically because all flesh had been tainted. So there was literally no more thoroughbred humans. The only person that was perfect was Noah. Now it says Noah was perfect in his genealogy. It means that he chose
Yeah,
Noah.
he was not an inbred either.
No, that's it.
Yeah.
Now they don't explain why they were there after the flood. We don't know if there was a second incursion. Obviously, they're angels; they can do what they want, but the Bible's kind of vague on that aspect.
Ancient sea scrolls on the right in that picture, by the way. The deep sea scrolls is what holds the book of Enoch, which the Jews, as of Christianity, as we said at the beginning of the stream, as of 4th century, they were trying to hide that story. Why were they hiding the species? And it's very interesting,
Yeah.
the way you look at it.
In the back, or it's not disturbing anyone?
No, I don't hear anything in the back. No.
Okay, so let's read like very quickly, keeping in mind that the book of Enoch is not considered, like we had mentioned earlier for the newcomers, it's not considered heretical. It is not canonized. It wasn't. They decided not to put it in.
They said it was. You should no, but it's a canon.
It's in the
It
Ethiopian
is a canon something. It's accepted. Jews accepted it as a scripture, part biblical scripture, authentic. But
Yeah,
that was found later,
not a
right?
forgery. Basically, it's not a forgery.
Yeah.
It's and it is in the Ethiopian Bible, the Christian Bible, and Jude in the Bible quotes it, and this was common knowledge. So, anyways, this explains Genesis 6, and it explains that Semyaza, who was the leader, said unto them, "I fear that if we do this." If we do not agree to do this deed, and I alone shall pay the penalty. Now, Satan is not the name. Satan is just a title meaning accuser or adversary. Lucifer means light bearer in Latin. So who knows? Maybe this
Revelation 9:11, if I'm not mistaken. Revelation 9:11, or is it Daniel? I think it is Revelation. Could I be right that they talk about where Satan resides, where he lives? Because today it's like we were talking at the beginning. That's another. You guys got to back that up. We're talking about the Apollyon Empire. We talked about CERN, right, being built over the Apollyon Empire. About them smashing subatomic particles to let out elements and open holes, and the rituals that are
comparing
done
that to the opening ceremony. It's really
crazy, right?
Hey,
Jason,
Noah,
of course, he showed the interior of the. He showed the you showed the interior of the Vatican, where they're literally in the serpent's effing mouth.
Well, actually, I have those. So what we could do is go through these more quickly. And
my community's seen that. I've shown that in my community too. Yeah.
So there's a big thing also is Mount Hermon. That's where the Watchers descended, and this is something to keep an eye on. This is
Mount Her.
Yeah,
man. No, I'm just saying, like Mount. I'm into patterns. When you mentioned Mount Sinai the last time, Sinai.
Yeah, check this out. So it says in chapter 7, and all the other together with them, these are the angels, took unto themselves wives, and each chose for himself one, and they began to go in onto them and defile themselves with them. and they taught them charms, enchantments, cutting of roots, and made them acquainted with plants. I think that they did a lot more than that. I think these are the same
Yeah.
dudes that gave all the ancient technology. And they became pregnant, and they bore great giants whose height was 3,000 eels, who consumed all the acquisition of men. You can imagine the calorie count that they need to maintain themselves. They'd be eating everything. Who
Not just
consumed
that,
all the
imagine a big heart. The giant, the bigger the animals get, the
Mhm.
bigger their hearts. I'm amazed at how, whether you believe in God or not, scientists themselves, even atheist scientists, are saying that
Yeah.
it's so perfect. It's so perfect, the creation of life, that it could not be a natural thing, like spontaneous natural phenomena. So look at
Yeah,
it the
no,
way you want. Look at it the way you want. It's
the
very.
systems are
So the
so
giants, Jason, the minute they're giants, this is how everything coincides. They're going to be very tall up off the surface. They're going to
Yeah.
have problems breathing. But no, because giants' metabolisms would be different. And at the same time, they would have these giant hearts, easily capable of pumping blood even
Mhm.
higher up, like a giant on Mount Everest, be afraid he'd faint. But again, if we're talking about 9 feet, what's the difference? Not much. The
Mhm.
size. There's not much difference against somebody that's 9 feet tall. His breathing as someone that's 6 foot from the ground there. But when we
Mhm.
start talking about 20-foot friggin' giants, I believe that they were here before us, most likely. Most likely we are the aliens, or we're the ones that were brought here, or we're the ones that they made. One of many beings. So get this. We have a lot of cousins in theory, a lot of nieces, cousins, ancestors that were probably all based on the human DNA. Times I had theories that maybe the animals that are all existing now could have been manipulated with parts of our DNA. If we splice the genes, if we're editing the genes, gain of function. Fauci got caught doing that because it was splicing the genes, so it can be
Yeah.
done. It can be done. How do you think they learned how to do that? Because
Yeah.
fuckface Vaticans, excuse the language,
Mhm.
in their archives, right?
Yeah.
Tempered archives, they have all that information there. They know which priests were raping kids. They know which
Yeah.
spiritual and paranormal events occurred. Some houses
Mhm.
are banned. You know that? You know how many not executions? Do you know how many exorcists that the Catholic priests do per year? It's like thousands. And
Mhm.
also they say they're not allowed to talk about them because it's against them.
Yeah, like I've looked at real exorcists, like capturing Christianity and stuff. It's like, come on, like well, we didn't film it. Like, I want to see the head spinning. I want to see, like, sliding up on the
Yeah,
wall.
exactly. I want to hear. Yeah, make
What
sure.
I've seen,
Yeah, I want to hear her.
yeah,
I
like,
want to see and hear a
yeah,
devil. Actually, I'm not going to ask for that. I don't want it to enter me, but
no,
I
please,
want to witness it. I want to witness it. Actually,
yeah,
we
exactly.
have. How many have we witnessed? How many people are possessed all of their lives and they will not know? Some people are mentally ill because of possession, I
I
believe.
believe that. Yeah. Schizophrenia, like, it means a broken soul.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But not just that. Imagine some people that do see shit, right?
Yeah.
That
I
really see something that makes them
Yeah.
lose it.
There was a schizophrenic lady that worked in housekeeping at the hospital. So she had schizophrenia, and the way she was talking, like, she was like, "There's a man inside me. It's a man voice, and he's making me do stuff." And she used to, like, grab, like, hot water and, like down it to, like, burn him. Like, it was messed up stuff. The whole
Imagine
time.
wanting to do that. Something's inside of you. Something inside of you. Like the woman that believes that her child was the devil, and
Mhm.
she stabbed herself, in the stomach to be able
Yeah,
to kill it. So it's like,
no, that's it. Hey, let me play the PowerPoint. We'll slide through some of those slides.
if my community is listening in, which I know you are, it's Jason John Swartz. He's going to be talking about. We're talking about giants right now, but if ever you guys wanted to do fasting, sorry, Jason,
Yeah,
Monday
go.
he has an open panel. If you want to come on to talk about your weight loss, if you're overweight and you want to explain to people why you don't lose weight,
Yeah.
come right ahead and do so.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. We coach. It's a community. We encourage each other.
Mondays,
We
every
plan
Monday, every
6
Monday night.
p.m. Eastern. I've been getting a lot of people that I'm coaching, and I'm kind of like one-on-one with everybody. So I have started a Patreon page where I think it's $3 per month, and then we do like one-on-one. At least we'll have a group, once a week. We
Yeah,
have
you're
a
just starting. If you guys want a group to be up faster on Patreon, go and join them and give them a hand.
but for now, just show up on Mondays to see, if you like it. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Like I always say, Jason, mention it
Go
every
up.
time. It's a free channel. Everyone and anyone is welcome to come by. You will get people at one point that really like your work and will want to support you in little ways, and they'll give you little presents and gifts, and they'll encourage
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
It's not an easy thing having a YouTube channel.
No.
Lots of lies out there too, and we all have different intentions. Me, Jason, grandma
Are you
used to
coming?
go to church and everything every
Yeah.
friggin' week. Grandma was very religious and gave a lot of money
Yeah, I
to the
know.
church, and she should have been researching about,
She never spoke to me about any of that. It was weird.
No, she did not want to force religion or anything. I was always asking questions. Grandma, is God a woman? Oh no, why? I was always asking there's one on our grandmother on mom's side.
Hmm?
When I was younger, I don't know if you ever heard those videos, the
Which
audio
one?
recordings of me talking about the PTL club and
No.
and answering the phone saying praise the Lord all the time. I was really spiritual, man. At a young age, I was into all these ghosts and spiritual shit and everything as a
Yes.
very, very young age. And mom said I used to tell her all the time that when I was younger that God's a woman. God's not a male. But it goes to show how my open headedness today
Mhm.
started at a very young age. And you know why? When we lost our dad, like
Mhm.
anybody, any kid, some kids get abused, and
Mhm.
you're older than another person. You start evolving faster than the kids your age, and you start wondering
Yeah.
about questions and stuff. It's a hell of a journey. It's a scary
Sure.
journey, but it's one I don't regret.
No. So we already went through this, guys, but at least for people just showing up to get an idea of what we kind of were talking about
Yeah,
at the
Indian
start.
tribes during the British military back in the days, even Christopher Columbus would find Indian tribes that were like giants, and they were working with little pygmy like very small and smaller than midget people,
Sorry, guys. No.
Oh, don't be nothing to it. Let the little princess talk. Give her a microphone. So yeah, you see right there on the right, guys. I mean, it's the ancient sea scrolls. The Jews hid the Catholics hid stuff from people. The Jews hid stuff from people. Muslims are doing the same bloody thing. There's no religion that's perfect, I guess. Basically, it's the people in the religions that are more perfect than the religions themselves. People are trying to find themselves.
All right. So here, this is the first book on Enoch. You can get the first book of Enoch PDFs online very easily.
You could also listen to it online, absolutely, on YouTube. The
Yeah.
whole story can be counted to you while you're doing your work. Very
So over
interesting story.
here, they say, and they became pregnant. Okay, but who consumed all the acquisitions of men? And when men could no longer sustain them, the giants turned against them and devoured mankind. This is the weird thing. And they sinned against birds, beasts, reptiles, fish, and devoured one another's flesh. The sinning, I don't think that has to do with eating. I think that is the genetic manipulation.
Yeah,
End up
bingo.
We're
It's
here.
about the gene manipulation,
Yeah.
about
So-
depopulation. How long how many times was Earth banished? I don't want to talk about words that we're not allowed using. How many times did they get rid of people? Too many people. Georgia Guidestones were blown up. Why? I'm so proud of myself, man. I declared it out to my community. I said there's going to be a fight on the inside. The elites are going to fight amongst themselves. And because of that, it's going to be a complete shit show where the right and the left are going to bring all this information out. There's so many things that are going to come out. They won't be able to go back to their regular ways. That's for sure.
No, for sure. This is over here. This is just an example when he says, and they began to sin against birds, beasts, reptiles, and fish. You know, all these like weird things that we consider mythological. Maybe they are exaggerated, maybe but there's a truth to it. And we know that it's happening now. They're using CRISPR gene splicing. They always say we're going to use it for a good reason. We're going to add human DNA to pigs so that we can harvest the organs and give it to people. Because
Elon Musk with his Neuralink,
Yeah.
Neuralink. Elon Musk can manipulate the brain waves and frequencies of a pig to make them, if they're depressed, feel happier. And Elon Musk also said that the very easy to make the pigs docile. The first human trials have begun quite a few months ago, actually. And you could be sure that those people, if they go through some troubles, are not going to talk about it. This is what Jason showed before, the elongated skulls, Nefertiti on the bottom left, the Egyptians. And we were mentioning, could it be that they were remembering a spiritual event or an event where aliens came down to evolve us? I would believe that they were maybe here to evolve us. Dude, that baby, that thing on the left is not human. I don't care what anyone's. I'm looking at that thing, and okay, it looks like
has like a perpetual chin lift.
Yeah, it has too much skin under his eyelids and stuff. That is fucked up, dude.
So look at this. Like, you know, I remember in school and stuff, oh, the headdresses, they're fancy. But no, okay, these are elongated skulls. They are rulers, kings, queens, all throughout antiquity in multiple cultures that are not even connected. And we see in the artwork,
Could they
these
be
weird little
inbred?
guys.
Could they be inbreeding? Like, you do know the Rothschilds are an inbred family. I could even tell you the percentage.
Blue bloods.
She's lucky. Queen Elizabeth was lucky. She's partly inbred. Not as much as Charlie O'Boy. Charlie's straight up pure brother and sister screwing inbred. Yeah. And
So like,
aliens, aliens, there's a story that aliens could be inbred, okay? And that's why they have these elongated skulls. That's another, story that I heard. So,
yeah. So if I'm trying to put it together, like from interdimensional, with the same activity again, but just deciding different origins. So first of all, boom, we have Genesis. We're understanding it's a seed war. Then after we look at Genesis 6, it's very vague. It just says they came down, they had sex, they had giants, and these giants devoured the land, tainting the human DNA, forcing Yahweh, God, to start over. So he chose Noah, and if you look, it says that he's perfect in his generation. But if you go to Strong Concordance and look at the word, it can mean genealogy. I think that makes a lot more sense. He wasn't perfect in his generation. We're all flawed. He was perfect, not in his character or his state. He was perfect. Literally, he didn't have any DNA contamination.
dude,
A lot of Christians like to say, "Oh, this is too weird." They'll say, "No, this is the line of Seth." Line of Seth are humans, and humans having sex with humans just have human babies.
all right.
Yeah.
Get this.
So
Get
ahead.
this. For whatever the reason, I just did this. I felt to look up NEPH and to ask in ancient scripture what it would signify. As a matter of fact, it signifies NEPH signifies an abbreviation for nephew, a rare slang of nephrologist. Interesting, eh?
Yeah.
What does
So-
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. I just want to get through like a speeded version because I know when my wife gets home,
What does neph mean in Latin?
Neph, I don't know. Nephal means
Clouds, cloudiness,
Oh, okay.
heavens. Interesting, eh? They call them the
Yeah.
Nephilim.
Things connect.
So,
So-
anyways, Go ahead.
Some Christians are not comfortable with saying that angels can have sex. Angels, when they're in heaven, they have a different physical state. All throughout the Bible, when they come down, they're men. They look like men. In the New Testament, it says, always be
Shapeshifters.
yeah,
Shapeshifters.
always be courteous because you might be serving an angel. So we can't tell when they come down here. So people were saying, look, angels, it says that, they can't have sex. But in Matthew, it says, this is what they'll use. At the resurrection, people will neither marry or be given in marriage. They'll be like angels. So they're like, see, it can't be. It cannot be angels that cause this, because it says here that angels in heavens don't do that. Exactly. In heaven, they don't. That's why it says in the Book of Enoch that they left their first estate and they transgressed their bounds. And
Angels could have been having sex amongst themselves and got caught, like Adam and Eve got caught eating the apple,
Mhm.
So they say. There's lots of different stories. There's even stories about people saying that the serpent was there to warn them, to save them.
Mhm.
I like hearing all those different theories, because it just goes to show that if you want to create confusion in the truth, insert a very small lie, and everyone's all confused about everything.
Yeah. And then after, these were just passages that show that indeed the angels are imprisoned, and then they compare it to the sexual immorality and perversion that happened in Sodom. For Christians that are trying to say that this is not angelic activity, they're wrong. And if Christians are uncomfortable with Genesis 6, then they ruin the character actually of God, because then the person will say he's a monster for flooding the but it's like, oh, it's because you're not uncomfortable with Genesis 6. If you actually followed the Book of Enoch, you'd say, well, actually, Noah was the only human left. That's why,
Right.
So we'll get out of here. Here I was just showing, anybody can just go Bible versus giants. There's like 80 of them. So it's not only about,
Lots of them.
yeah, it's not like only about David and Goliath. For example, here it says,
No.
there also we saw the Nephilims, the son of Anak, are part of the Nephilim, the giants, and we became like grasshoppers in our own sight, and so we were to their sight. Then we have Goliath. Okay, the champion came and armies of the Philistine. Fine, we know that one. In Samuel 2, it says Ishbi Benob, who was among the descendants, of the giants, the weight of whose spear was 300 shekels of bronze in weight, were girded with a new sword, and he intended to kill David. Again, there is a war at Gath, where there was a man of great stature who had 6 fingers. See, we're tying into the other legends of the Indians with the 6 fingers.
Right. But now hang on, because now if you're talking about 6 fingers, we're talking also about alien beings, because the alien beings, there's also an alien being that has 6 fingers. As a matter of fact, the one from Roswell has 6 toes and 6 fingers. We're talking
that's
about
what I'm saying.
the red-headed giants, right? Have 6 fingers also.
Exactly.
So giants, if they slept with someone, there's something about the 6 fingers. Why did they cut the penises and noses off of the Greek statues? Those are stupid things for some, but for me, there's a protest that occurred thousands of years ago. There were protests, there were strikes. There must have been a whole bunch of strike. As a matter of fact, the angels were striking against God. The angels literally went against God, conniving and back and saying, well, let's go down to earth and whatnot. So,
yeah. So over here, the giant clans in the Bible, another criticism is, God takes these people and tells them to go into Canaan and ruthlessly annihilate them, called harem, to total destruction. So again, if a Christian is not informed of these supernatural things that they're uncomfortable sometimes talking about, they can't defend it. Actually, the ruthless conquest that God took the Hebrews to do was to eliminate these freaking hybrids again. So this is from the Bible. They were known as the Raphaim, Emim, Anakim, Horim, Avim, and Zanzumim. You also have the Amorites, the Amalekites, and it's kind of like different clans would call
the Muslims. What about the Muslims?
No, I don't think they're there, but the Emim, a large and numerous people as tall as the Anakim. And then you have King Og of Bashan, was left. He was a remnant. So you see they're dying off. And again, he's a giant. Again, let's just go through the fast stuff. So all of these Greek mythologies and stuff like that, I actually believe that there's some truth to that, whether these are Nephilim or these are fallen angels that were worshipped. I think that these, in my view, and I can call them aliens. Angels are alien to this abode, you know. So
Exactly.
I think that there is truth within a lot of the myths. We have the Indian myths. We have the legend of Sidikai. These are the red-haired ones with
giants in America. Red-headed giants come from the USA. It's always been known.
That's it. Here we have
From Ohio, in particularly. That's where they're
Yeah.
buried.
Bruce showed this on his slide, Queen Elizabeth looking at it.
Yeah, back in
Obviously,
the
these
50s.
have been removed now,
Yep.
but there is plenty of New York Times articles of giants 8 feet or larger, and all of this has been taken by the Smithsonian Museum. Whether they destroyed it or not, they've wiped it out of any access.
Yeah, $1.2 million. I have proof. They bought one giant that had mass in it, had guts in it, and they destroyed it because they said it was a reproduction of what looked like a very real old giant.
And science does not, mainstream science does this all the time, because I learned this when I started a keto diet. All of the research, all the guidelines that they claim, they ignore everything that doesn't fit their agenda. And I'll tell you one thing, this does not fit secular evolutionary mentality. So here we have the elongated heads, and we see that humans tend to copy that, right? Oh, these are royalty, so they're going to emulate them. These skulls, this is not because of headboarding like this, because the volume, the mass is larger. And me and Bruce, before we joined streams, we were talking about humans have a very distinct parietal plates that suture, and you can see that on a human skull. These one have very different. Down here, the whole thing is one big plate. Here you can even see hair on it. We see again these weird little guys here. We see the headdress. Like, see, this could be an artist's rendition, but really not. Because when you look at the skulls, maybe they really looked that.
It's the benefit of the doubt, eh? Notice everyone's always going to say that. Oh, it could be just a representation of God.
That's what they used to.
Why does everyone around the world always have a different image of God? Oh, it's just a different representation of God. Yeah, well, it's like enough of the bullshit.
Yeah,
seriously.
See, over here, so
other known giant races in Greek mythology, Jason, include the sixth-armed, Giganus. There's the northern Hyperboreans. There's the cannibalistic Lastrygonians. There's the Hinduans or something like that. There's half giant. There's Zanctus. I mean, I'm just starting to look into in detail. I've been looking at it for years, but when you look in detail, giants are a race of humanoids that vastly overshadow the other known races. Let's go. There's many different perceptions and opinions and ideals. It's already 9:04. I did good, eh? I lasted the 3 hours. I'm starting. My ass is literally floating. My balls are up my ass.
Give me 10 minutes. We'll I just want to show the slides fast, and then we can stop, because Noah's trying to keep Rosa busy. So anyways, just to say, the legend of Gilgamesh, same thing, giants. Here we have giants in Egyptian art. We have these weird skulls again. So these aren't like, oh, well, this is a pharaoh, so they make him bigger. Maybe, but I don't think so, because once your eyes are open to giants and stuff like that, and you start going down this rabbit hole, it's like you see it everywhere. Like
they say, no, the reason why they were depicting them so tall is because they had grandiose, and they were
it was a way of representing their
bullshit. Like they say, the way that they have the big columns up at the White House and stuff like that. There's a little bit of bullshit in some of it too.
In the Bible, it talks, we often pick up Noah's Ark and it rained for 40 days, 40 or whatever. but it actually says the fountains of the deep broke open. And here, this is a recent article from discovery.com, and it says there's as I'll talk louder in case the kids are.
No, she doesn't overpower you. She doesn't overpower you. We can hear you very well.
All right. So the water underground, there's as much water inside the earth at this time as there is in all the oceans. And that's the conclusion that scientists are reaching in 2014. It's not in liquid form. It's trapped in some kind of
a different state. It's different state. Yep.
Here are flood traditions.
It's in gas state. Actually, the water is held inside in a gas state.
Yeah, this one, obviously, there's gas. It separates the hydrogen and oxygen.
Ice, permafrost. There's ice crystals.
Where is it? It's too bad it actually named what it was called, the form. But anyways, the interesting thing is that there's tons of ocean under the water. The fountains of deep broke open, and I think it makes sense that a large part of the earth can be hollow as well. So, hollow earth, not too stupid, maybe. These are flood traditions here that are from multiple cultures and stuff like that. There's something there. This is just from our friend, the Smithsonian Museum. There may be a second massive ocean deep beneath the surface. So it's just kind of like putting maybe the flood and stuff, maybe it's not so stupid after all. Here it says, in the 600 year Noah's life, in the second month, on that day, all the fountains of the great deep burst forth. It wasn't the rain that caused too much of a problem. It was actually all that subterranean oceans that came. And when we look at the earth, it is cracked like an egg. And I think that all of these fault lines here are where the water exploded out and just cracked around the earth like a baseball.
Yeah.
You have, again, me and Bruce were talking about the elongated heads. So just trying to give some examples. Brian Forster, if you want to look specifically on the elongated skulls, the Paracas skulls, he's the guy. Okay, he's the guy that's doing.
I always wanted to talk about our family secret about the elongated penises, but I said it's embarrassing talking about that.
Yeah.
Next stream.
Okay. DNA testing. So this guy's done DNA testing. We could do that on another stream. Trying to like how forensics will take a skull and kind of like, what would these people look like? And it says these ancient elongated skulls have been found in many parts of the world, like spread out. But the largest and most intriguing lived in Peru and Bolivia. Who they were and why their skulls are altered has not been thoroughly explained. But we see that, this is in multiple areas. So you can also go see Brian Forster. I learned a lot from him. Showing this, he's showing locations where they're found, like the mound builders and megalithic builders. Me and Bruce talked about
Tutankhamun was handicapped. Yeah, he had the deformations in his spine and his legs. He was tiny. He was an inbred. I think he had like a cleft palate, and I mean, there's a whole bunch of. When you look at the old. Canadian history or American history, when you go back and look at the kings about 100 to 300 years ago, they all have these friggin' weird noses. They have these palates all screwed up. It's all brothers and sisters that are sleeping with each other. They're all inbred from the first family gene.
The blue blood.
Yep, they say that Elizabeth's had a sister, Queen Elizabeth. I'll say like Biden, save the Queen. She had a sister that was handicapped that they hid from the world because Elizabeth was not supposed to be the queen. English people today.
Oh no, I didn't know that. So me and Bruce we're talking about the Serpent Mound. This one, it's in Ohio, and this can only be seen, like aerial. So it's quite impressive. I was kind of thinking, this does look like a seed, doesn't it? And it kind of, for me, ties into that prophecy in Genesis that there'll be hatred between the seed of the woman and the seed of the serpent. And I find that this serpent, to me,
It
it looks
also
like
follows the wave, a wave declared last year, which is a frequency that goes
yeah,
up and down. Everything travels up and downwards. Frequencies that are traveling through the air, lower frequencies, higher frequencies, and they're all traveling like a wave up and down.
yeah,
Actually, if you look at the oceans, is it any wonder that the waves are going up and down, moving one way?
mm.
Everything does.
We,
Hello.
we had
I know.
come sit with me. Usually she sits quietly with me, but she's like super active. So for me, something to look at: seed of the serpent,
Yeah.
enmity. The serpent here looks like it's swallowing a seed, and yeah, me and Bruce had talked about these are actually in alignment to specific solstice and things like that. Like most of the stuff.
What if I told you that that was a map of the stars?
Yeah, well,
You know,
I believe.
I'm pretty intrigued at how, I'm not even going to dare get into crop circles because we're going to be off finishing in a couple of minutes.
Yeah,
But the crop circles, the messages, the way, ancient art, they knew a lot about frequencies back then. They knew a lot about a whole shitload of things, all
Yeah.
the different dimensions they knew about back then. So basically, we're getting all our information off that,
yeah.
Hey, it's pitch dark here.
This is kind of what I think. I believe that I kind of put my thoughts. I believe that the fallen angels, they shared the knowledge with the population in antiquity. They played gods in the ancient world, and we see the similarities between cultural myths show at least a grain of truth somewhere in there. The
Yep.
Nephilim are angel human hybrids. So the fallen angels, I believe, are the ones that give all this knowledge. And the Nephilim, the giants, are the builders. They're the ones that were able to make these megaliths, and we're all scratching our head. Possibly the fallen angels had some kind of technology to levitate. That's possible too.
Yeah.
But it explains the ancient technologies found around the world that's very advanced that science doesn't want to acknowledge. But the knowledge led to the corruption of mankind, and this is again what's going to happen. All of this gene editing.
How much did things weigh 1,000 years ago? Who says
Look
our
at this.
who says our atmosphere? If you land on Mercury,
Yeah.
you weigh different. If you land on Venus, on Mars, you weigh differently.
Yeah,
So
yeah, for sure.
how many changes are there in an atmosphere of a planet? I mean, we're just experiencing right now an entire solar system change. All the planets and stars are moving and changing because of what? The sun? Because of two neutron stars that collided? Or apparently there's a big ass black hole traveling through the Milky Way right towards us. There's asteroids coming towards us and stuff. It's all about time and perception. What happens, there's an asteroid coming to hit Earth, but people don't care because it's going to be in billions of years, they say, or millions of years. Be careful. It could be billions of weeks or hours.
Yeah.
But,
Look at the
they can't
size
detect
of
them all.
massive stones. It's crazy.
They just detected the first interstellar object in space in the Pacific Ocean, Papua New Guinea. They're combing the ocean floor with the Pacific. So we're talking much deeper than, Titanic. We're talking 1,200 feet. Pacific, we're talking a lot deeper, and they were able to retrieve what is literally an alien object.
Yeah. Here, these are the megalithic stones and stuff like that. It says that the massive scale, the undertaking of trying to shape and then release these stones is almost unbelievable. So these are just primitive, people. They don't have microwaves, but they're building this kind of stuff. No way. Either it has to be a combination of angel or supernatural beings.
What if there are cars back there, man? Like I know I sound retarded, but since this year, I wouldn't be surprised if Egyptians had Harleys. Why not? They're more advanced than us.
We see the pictures there of the spaceships that are cut in.
Well, there you go. You just said something. Hold on. Why do we have Harleys? We live and are stuck on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
What about the people leaving this planet traveling around. They don't need Harleys, right? Harley
exactly.
Davidsons, parks, religion, probably a lot of stuff that they need to tame us. Oh well, we used to enslave them, and they used to
Yeah.
for the Roman Empire. Now we're just going to give them jobs. They're going to believe that it's their money, but we'll charge them taxes, so they'll make money for
Yeah,
us.
of course.
It's all a friggin' plan. It's exactly
Yeah.
a repetitive cycle that everything going on all the time.
Over here.
Anyways,
These are huge here. Just to say, like, even like there's legends. So giants are everywhere, all throughout our culture. Me and Bruce had talked about the Vatican. This is inside the Vatican. It's an obvious serpent. The outside obvious serpent.
yep.
Here, I showed this one, and then maybe people don't see it, but that's Baphomet right there.
Elon Musk, where?
But you know what I mean? It's like it's overpowering. It's like, oh, this was just a mistake. Oh well, how about
Yeah.
Jesus's hair that looks like a freaking snake? Also,
Yep.
why is Jesus coming out and he doesn't really look like he's coming in the glory from heaven? It looks like
Maybe it's because
hit
the
of hell.
story was backwards or upside down. What's
I
the
just-
joke? What's the joke about Baphomet doing this? Does he have crooked horns?
Man, like they're doing it on purpose to put that. You can't like make a mistake with this man.
Hey, that would be a bad icon picture, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Trolls are like, look at this guy, he's a devil. Get his knee, get his knee.
Listen to this. This one's scary too in Daniel, okay? He says, and just as you saw the iron mixed with baked clay, so the people will be a mixture and will not remain united any more than iron mixes with clay. In the time of those kings, the God of heaven will set up a kingdom that will never be destroyed, nor will it be left to another people. It will crush. So this here, this thing mingling, okay, with the seed of men, this is right towards the end. I just showed some more stuff. Me and Bruce are just basically trying to say whether they're one thing or the other. This transcends all cultures. This ain't just one culture that's talking about floods or talking about giants, or it's everywhere. And it's been hidden. Smith, like the governments or something, anything that shows this, it's gone. So even Jain mythology has it. We know Sitikai, we saw that. That was the 6 fingers and stuff like that. There's the Norse mythology with frost giants, fire giants. So they're all over the place. And then after we have the Abrahamic, they call it mythology. I call it fact. But again, these are all, and there's a lot of names because it's kind of like somebody will call me and you Canadians, and then another will say, oh, the Quebecers, and then another one will say the town. So there's a lot of names, but it's actually sometimes they're just referring to them in a different way, and it's the same people. But
Right.
These are the people that the Israelites were sent to completely destroy, like everything. And it makes the character of God sound like, bad. But it's like if Christians are too scared to acknowledge that we're talking about something way crazier than parting the Red Seas, if they don't have the guts to say that, they can't really back up much of the Bible.
Right.
Because, if you look at the conquest, he's like, kill everything, kill the animals, kill the women, kill the children. And you're like, whoa, what's up with that? What's up, sweetheart? Here is a human skull. Come. Noah Bear, is there one of those yogurt things in
No,
the
I'm
fridge?
good, man.
So we can go. We'll stop it soon. We'll just go through at least so people can see the next time some of the stuff that we could continue. But the serpents everywhere as well in most cultures. I think the only religion that thinks the serpent is bad, I think, is Judaism and Christianity, because you have the Kundalini serpent. Asian cultures are all dealing with serpents.
Yeah.
I don't think that this Kundalini energy is a good thing to play with. I actually believe in the chakras. I believe in those spiritual centers. Me personally, I believe that the Holy Spirit comes in and he decides what the hell to do with those centered. I've done meditation in my 20s, trying to suck the serpent from my butt to my brain. And I'll tell you one thing, some weird stuff happened and it wasn't pleasant.
Oh, I
Here
confirm
we
it.
have the
I have
awakening.
some crazy shit that's been happening to me.
No,
Ever
I don't.
since.
Me, I don't play with that stuff anymore. I had some
I
really
love
bad
it.
experience.
I love it. Bring the shadows. Bring
Here
the
it says
demons.
the awakening of the Kundalini chakra presenting as psychosis, and that's it, man. That's all I had to show. We can go into more detail another
Oh,
time.
wow.
Who's that? Yeah, wait, I'll put her on. Who's that? She's kind of like, he kind of looks like me.
She's like, I don't care who it is.
You want to? So we're at 3:25. Do you want to just stop it here?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Definitely. I gotta get off. I mean, I haven't even turned on the light yet in the house. Hey, make her look at me. I'll make myself disappear. Watch, I'm gonna do some. No, I'm not. I won't say magic. I'm just gonna do a trick. Oh, never mind. Never mind, dude.
All right, man.
Never mind.
Are we
Really
cutting
bad.
it now?
I look like the devil. I'm not gonna do that. So I'm gonna wait. Hey, listen, it was man, it was awesome, and of course, my community is listening. So I'm gonna end the stream too after you end. I'm gonna let you end it first.
Yeah, sure.
And yeah, man,
You know what?
listen. Go ahead.
Do a shameless plug, just to show my my channel, my small channel, just so people maybe see the content and stuff if they're interested or not.
You said to do what? You want to do something? You said.
I just want to show my YouTube channel. So
Oh, of
'cause
course. No,
100
listen.
people
Go right
So-
ahead, buddy.
give an idea of what kind of stuff.
Listen up, community. Bruce sees all community. If you want to know what Jason's all about, please listen up.
Yeah, so there's a wide variety of stuff. I do some Christian content, but I'll talk about anything and everything. I do a lot of live streams as well, so you can go in the live stream archives.
Lots
I
of
do-
troll action, lots of trolls that come by and give their
Yeah.
opinions. Support them.
Yeah.
If you disagree with the trolls, add in the community, add in the comment section. Trolls
Yeah.
hate support.
That's it.
People don't understand that. One
it-
person goes to the troll and say, "We love Jason," and that's it. Everything explode. Gotta stick together.
Well, I have my troll confrontations of people like toxicity. In the morning, I do one chapter per day reading. I'm a Christian, but I believe in conditional immortality, which means that we have this life. We're made fit for the kingdom if we accept it or not. We're all judged for what we do, and those that are didn't accept Jesus, they after a certain amount of just penalty and punishment, they cease to be. So I don't believe in eternal conscious torment. This ain't something I just made up in my head. There's early church fathers that believed in that, and there's many Christians as well that So, anyways, that's the kind of Christian I am, and lots of live streams. And every Monday you'll see Bruce here. Okay, so there's also keto fasting live streams here. So every Monday, Bruce is going to be always on. He's on his fasting weight loss journey, which is incredible.
I am 20 pounds away from being at 200 pounds. Go ahead.
I
Yeah,
do some
man.
videos to respond. I had gotten, I was involved with a community that was hostile towards Christians. So that just led to a lot of response videos.
CIA. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, just to say, I had to stop because it was getting really toxic. I also
was
have
getting
garlic
top
park.
secret or toxic? Toxic. Okay.
It was getting toxic.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what?
like
I should
that's like the whole association.
play just this one. Wait. I was going through the breakfast cereal, and I'm a keto guy. I hate carbohydrates that are junk like this. So here.
As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no cereal,
thy meat, and thy fat, they comfort me. Amen. As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no cereal. Thy meat, thy fat, they comfort me.
Having
Yeah,
too much fun.
that sums me and Bruce pretty much up.
Yeah, like we're just big kids. Basically, that's what we are. Hey, man, I've been leaving my visitors that have been here having a coffee. I have to go spend some time with. No, I'm kidding.
I gotta go for that.
That'd be crazy, eh?
Yeah.
3.5 hours. Hey, it was interesting, man. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Seriously.
All right, man.
honestly.
Love you. Let's do this again.
All right. And listen, thanks to my community that are listening in.
Yeah.
Open panels Monday nights on Jason's channel, 6 p.m. Eastern time.
Mhm.
If you're curious about how to losing weight, Jason is giving me and his community hands-on experience and knowledge on exactly what the doctors, idiots online, are not telling you. Honestly, Jason goes all out when he talks about that subject because he knows a lot about it. So, if you want to join
Well,
the
it's been
panel,
5
you want to
years.
lose weight, go ahead, man.
It's been 5 years. So
Yeah, and you've been fasting for a while. I lost weight back in the day, but without knowing how. I was just starving myself in an unhealthy way.
yeah, but you
But,
picked it up I mean,
Yeah, like I learned.
another month or two, and you'll be able to like be a coach with me for other people.
No, absolutely. Speedo coach and everything.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
I'll have the
this is my Patreon. So I coach people for free on Mondays and stuff like that. But if you want like more one-on-one, where I can pop up and we can talk one-on-one, go through things. I developed this because I've kind of been helping it full of different people on Messenger, and it's like it's too much time. So I'm like, let's put it in one shot and charge $3.
you're sharing this to 2,000 people right now, by the way.
Well, that's good.
So, because that
Maybe
is
I'll
how
get-
much I get.
I'll
Did you
get-
know that? Did you know?
Maybe I'll get I have one subscriber. I think it's my mom.
Do you know that I get 2,000 people
That's
that come
crazy.
every stream,
Wow.
every single stream, but I don't get 2,000 comments. So unfortunately, that's
Yeah.
how it is. So I guess you'll be able to sign off, or
I'm out of
should
here,
I?
man. So I guess I remove you too as well. I don't know what's gonna happen when I end the broadcast.
We all
guess-
disappear. Just end the broadcast and mine, and
Yeah.
I'll disappear too. If not, I'll take over your channel.
Love you. See you guys.
Love you, man. Thanks, bro. Thanks, everyone. Bye bye for now.
All right. I just wanted to get rid of my brother. So we're gonna do another like hour or two,